in this, everybody. This isn't a lie. That's my opinion. My opinion matters all. We're at it. Hit that like, subscribe. Come on. Don't get you. Cool. What is that? I don't know what that is.
Who are these people?
That's someone who's confused because he's cool. Okay, whoa. That's right, everybody. 200 episodes. This man is a machine.
Go on! Save her! Save her!
Today, Chumley, not today.
Drat! Outsmarted by a lorry! I am disgraced!
I hate these lawyers, I tell you what. They think they're so much smarter than you.
Yes. Well, Baron Orman Tagge, you weren't able to catch Optimus Prime on that day. And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome one and all to the 200th episode of PACIFIC414 Pop Talk. That's right, 200, whether they were live streams or recorded videos, this is the 200th episode, and we have quite a few topics to discuss on this 3-hour edition of PACIFIC414 Pop Talk, where we are live on Rumble and YouTube, and we will be live with all of you for those 3 hours. Whether you're watching on YouTube or whether you're watching on Rumble, we're not going anywhere for the next 3 hours.
You guys on YouTube consider yourself privileged.
I ain't saying nothing. I ain't saying nothing on that part. But in all honesty, Baron, really? Do we need to start this early? Do we need to start this early? Look at Mr. Orman Tagge here. I'm gonna blow him up real quick. Look at him.
Here I am.
Look at him, Mr. Big Shot there with his camera and his background. Mr. Big Shot Orman Tagge. But ladies and gentlemen, Yes, you got anything to say about the chin?
Mine's magnificent. Yes, that's it.
See, okay. I wear this beard like this so I don't, give them chin envy,
Sure.
Right. But ladies and gentlemen, tonight is the 200th episode of PACIFIC414 Pop Talk. And as I said before, whether they were live streams, whether they were recorded, I put out an episode of PACIFIC414 Pop Talk, including those that were special topic episodes where we discussed one topic, such as video games or anime, or even specific movies like The Big Lebowski, for example. But it's been a lot of fun doing Pop Talk each and every week on Wednesdays and then on Sundays. And I'm appreciative of everybody who stops by to watch, even if they can only lurk for a little bit. That's fine too. We like the lurkers. Speaking of stopping by, I do want to say hello to Angry Canadian, who says 200. And I also want to say hello to Jet Sparks. Now, before we actually get into the articles that we have lined up for tonight, I want to get this out of the way. I do want to let you all know that Open Panels will return this Sunday. Now, it won't be for the entire show, it won't be from start to finish. It will be in the second hour of Sunday's Pop Talk, where open panels will return. Now, there are some guidelines I have decided to go with after several issues with open panels as they once were. You know, there was a time where open panels were each and every episode of Pop Talk, and then they were reduced to two. Well, this time, open panels will occur once a month on a Sunday. And these are the guidelines I have set. Our two open panel guidelines are as follows. Number one, please wear headphones buds while on the panel. This is just a common courtesy. A lot of live streamers do it, including myself. And I ask that you wear earbuds or headphones. Part of it's to try to reduce any background noise, which brings us to number two. Please mute any background noise that can be heard during the stream. This includes any TVs you have going on in the background, any YouTube videos that you have going on in the background, music, and eating. If you have to eat, mute yourself and eat. I understand. We all get hungry. And then number three, because this has become an issue during open panels. So I want to curtail that issue. Number three is please save all self-promotion until you have been asked to do so. This includes promoting others. So if you say in the private chat that you're getting ready to leave, and I say to you, okay, Jet Spark, what do you have coming up on your channel? That's when I want you to promote. Not out of the blue, not talking about a different topic, then all of a sudden say, and guess what? So and so is also doing a video on this. I'm doing a video on this. So come by my channel. No, that's not the time. Wait until you've been asked. Also, number four, because this goes along with number three, do not be rude to fellow panelists or to those in the chat. We've had times where people have been rude on the panel or in the chat, telling somebody in the chat that they're wrong for their point of view. No, they're not wrong for their point of view. Everybody has their own point of view. I have my point of view. Cash has his point of view. Baron has his point of view. And for some of us, we're going to stick with that point of view. We're not going to budge. But nobody's opinion on a topic that we're discussing is wrong. None at all. Also, number five, if you do not follow these guidelines, strike one, you'll get a verbal warning. It won't be from Cash. It won't be from Baron. It will be from me. Let me go ahead and remove this banner that's scrolling so you can see everything. But I will be the one giving you the verbal warning. Strike two, if you decide, oh, I'm going to promote myself, or there's some background noise that is picking up and it's starting to annoy people. And we've had it happen where people have come on and we said, okay, who's got that background noise going on? Could you please mute it? If you decide, oh, I'm not going to mute myself, Mike's not going to do anything, strike two will be a 5-minute timeout, essentially. You will be muted for 5 minutes. And then if you decide for a third time, well, then you'll be removed. And accompanying the removal will be this video.
You're gone!
How often that's been used for me?
This time, ladies and gentlemen, it won't be used as a joke. And I'm very serious about this.
Mm-hmm.
I still want the show to be fun, but there needs to be more structure as far as I'm concerned when it comes to the open panels. It's not a free-for-all. You still need to respect Aaron, who is a co-host, Cash, who is a co-host, myself, your host, your fellow panelists, your fellow members of the chat. I'm not going to tolerate it. I want this to continue to be a fun show. And we do have fun. Yeah, maybe a little more fun than some people would like, but you know what? That's what makes us different. That's what makes us different from everybody else out there. Is the amount of fun that we do like to have. How many times have I booted Cash or Baron? Just at random, just for the heck of it. It's part of this shtick. But when it comes to the hour 2 monthly open panels, it won't be a shtick. These rules will apply. Guidelines, rules, whatever you choose to call them, these will apply. So I do want to say that I welcome one and all to the panel. If you want to come on, if you don't want to discuss a particular topic, you want to wait to come on, that's fine too. But don't come on here and say, oh, I don't want to talk about this. A lot of these topics have already been predetermined. And it's a thing where I will look through articles and decide what we're going to talk about. Or in Discord, Cash will show some articles and Baron will show some articles. And then at that point, it comes a point where, okay, which one do we want to discuss? Which one do we want to maybe wait for the next edition of Pop Talk? So those are the guidelines, and I'm not changing them. I'm putting my foot down, ladies and gentlemen. And while I was letting you all know the guidelines, I do want to say hello to Brandon Looney Tunes Fan 2000. We also have Decepticon's Cave of Comic and Toys, who says hello. And we also have Old Man. I don't have headphones or earbuds, so I'm out.
Yeah, we'll just have to get him some.
Yeah,
We're going to start a GoFundMe right now.
That's an easy way to solve that problem.
GoFundMe. Here we go.
Yeah. But that's what's going on. And if you have anything that you'd like to add, Baron or Cash, go ahead and add it.
Let's keep on having fun. That's all I gotta say.
Yep. Always have fun. Always.
Yep. That's what we want to have here. But I could have waited to announce this later, but I wanted to get it out of the way. So let's go ahead and let you all know what we're discussing on the 200th episode of PACIFIC414 Pop Talk. We have an article from Superhero Hype. It says D&D introduces its first canonically autistic character in the Book of Many Things. I got a few things
I like
to say
dragons.
about that. Yeah, I like dragons too, Baird.
I like dragons.
And we also have an article from comicbook.com that says Netflix One Piece debuts Japanese dub with original anime actors. We have a couple of articles from Bounty in the Comics that we're going to discuss. And one of them is Ian McKellen explains his job as an actor is not to presume to tell the audience what to think ever in anything I do. And our other article is, according to Bounty in the Comics, an exclusive. Get your first look at Chuck Dixon's second Conan the Barbarian novel, Caravan of the Damned. And then Cash presented this one to me, and I said, okay, let's talk about it. This is from Niche Gamer. It says, artists harassed over extra thick fear and hunger illustration. Honestly, the illustration looks fine to me. There's nothing wrong with it. And we have this article from Variety that says why Starfield is too big to fail for Microsoft. And that will be the first article we talk about on this edition, the 200th episode of Pop Talk. Yes, Baron.
To risk to risk breaking one of your rules about promoting others. I was just going to try to get to the YouTube page for this channel because I like to have it up because that's when I can, in case I want to communicate. The real life Peter Griffin is live streaming Starfield.
What?
Oh God!
I'm sorry, I had to.
What?
Shut
The
up,
real
Meg.
life Peter Griffin is streaming
What?
Starfield.
Oh my gosh. What the heck?
I'm sorry, I had to share that one.
And
Hey, who's that
hello
guy?
to Paul from Phantomology, who says, "Hey guys, Paul from Phantomology will be our guest next Wednesday on Pacific414 Pop Talk."
Yes.
He stole my name.
Wait,
Bastard.
I thought you both came to an agreement, and the agreement
Oh, that's right. Okay.
was a handshake agreement, and also it was a battle to the death, Klingon style.
How can we? Because we're so far away. I've never shook his hand. Never shook his hand yet.
Virtually, Baron.
So how can we?
Virtually.
Okay.
Virtually.
Oh. You didn't sign that contract in blood? That's amazing. I don't know.
Well, we should have done that over the mail. It's like, here's your vial of blood. Here's my vial of blood. Let's go. Okay, let me find Mike's channel here. Okay.
I'm playing Starfield. All right, so this article from Variety, of course, as I mentioned previously, says why Starfield is too big to fail for Microsoft. It's by Kiri Erickson. It says it was clear Bethesda Softworks needed to step up its game after the disastrous launch of Fallout 76 in 2018. 5 years later, Starfield is the result. Only thing is, Bethesda answers to someone else now. When it releases Wednesday, Starfield, I actually got to play a little bit last night, so yeah.
7 hours, 22 minutes for me. I had to break myself away to do this show.
When it releases
Feel
Wednesday,
privileged.
or just get Game Pass if you don't want to pay the $70.
Yeah, do that. I mean, yeah, definitely give that a try out that way. But right now, it's looking like a buy.
When it releases Wednesday, Starfield will be as pivotal a game for Bethesda owner Microsoft and its aggressive attempts to set up the Xbox brand for enduring success as it will be for Bethesda's reputation in the gaming community. After buying Bethesda parent ZeniMax in 2021 for $7.5 billion, Microsoft in 2022 agreed to acquire Call of Duty giant Activision Blizzard for $69 billion, a deal that has yet to close after drawing a whirlwind of regulatory scrutiny that is only now starting to abate.
And rightly so.
Yeah. Famed for its franchises, The Elder Scrolls and Fallout, Bethesda Game Studios typically turns out titles that are large open world RPG experiences, granting players a ton of flexibility and gameplay hours to complete a variety of quests or just explore the map, with many games surpassing 100 hours for hardcore completionists. Fallout 76 launched without many of these elements, prioritizing multiplayer gameplay as a first time live service that was filled with numerous game breaking bugs, causing a firestorm of player backlash and accusations that it was nothing more than a cash grab. Successful live services are often desirable assets for publishers, but Starfield and its single player return to form is expected to play a different role within the Xbox ecosystem, which is straining to release exclusive games at the output that PlayStation does. And of course, there's sale figures PlayStation 5 versus Xbox Series X and S. Says current estimates show PlayStation 5 has been outselling Xbox Series XS at around 2 to 1, as PlayStation 4 did with Xbox One. Like the last console generation, Microsoft does not disclose exact console sales, while Sony releases those in its quarterly earnings, although Microsoft cited a 13% decrease in hardware revenue driven by lower volume of consoles sold in its recent earnings. Well, that could be attributed to multiple factors.
Oh yeah.
Microsoft did ramp up its first party studios before new consoles launched in 2020, but development cycles for AAA games are as long as they've ever been. Active development for Starfield started 8 years ago, and Bethesda Softworks has released just 4 games for current gen consoles. The first two, 2021's Deathloop and Ghostwire Tokyo in 2022, originally launched as timed PlayStation 5 exclusives, forcing Xbox owners to wait at least a year to play them. Thanks to Sony Interactive Entertainment's distribution deals before Bethesda joined the Xbox family. A smaller game, Hi-Fi Rush, released in January 2023 to critical acclaim, but the first AAA video game from Bethesda to make an exclusive console debut on Xbox, Redfall was widely panned the following May. Like Fallout 76, the Bethesda Game Studios' Redfall was a multiplayer live action service game developed by Arcane, a studio otherwise known and praised for single player titles. Microsoft embracing console exclusivity through Bethesda was a major of contention throughout various regulatory hearings for the pending deal with Activision Blizzard. As the FTC, the UK's CMA, and Sony executives all expressed concern the same would occur with Activision games like Call of Duty on the Xbox Game Pass subscription service and its cloud gaming tier, even as Microsoft pledged to keep Call of Duty multi-platform. And let's see. Just gonna read that comment by Angry Canadian who says, I still remember the John Denver promo for Fallout 76.
It was a good promo. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, it took a while for the game to catch up.
That's true. Xbox has seen. Go ahead, Baron.
I said we wouldn't lie to you.
Xbox has seen great success on the subscription side, having grown Game Pass subscribers rapidly throughout the pandemic. The company often releases new console exclusives on Game Pass alongside digital and physical versions of those games, which will be the case for Starfield next week, making the game an enormous asset to the service. SIE does not do this with its PlayStation Plus subscription, where exclusives typically take a year to show up on the service, thus putting the brand at a notable disadvantage on the subscription front. Just as Starfield makes its Xbox Game Pass debut in September, all PS Plus tiers will see price hikes, with its highest tier increasing by $40 annually, a sign the service could really use its own Starfield. And yeah, I haven't paid for PlayStation Plus in quite some time because of the price hike. I'm talking about the first one too. That does not mean Xbox Game Pass is infallible. The last time Microsoft disclosed subscriber numbers was January 2022, suggesting the company no longer feels confident boasting about the service's growth, much like its refusal to regularly reveal sales of its console. Likewise, the value of the service to gamers continues to negatively impact individual game sales at Xbox. Starfield becoming the most top of the mind game in the industry may certainly be what compels an actual update on Game Pass subscribers. And it finishes off with these last two paragraphs by saying, so far, it's hard to say whether the game is set for bona fide success like The Elder Scrolls Skyrim or Fallout 4, were back in the day, with the latter netting $750 million on its launch day in 2016. The review embargo was Thursday, and Metacritic shows an 87% score on Xbox from 44 critics, but many prominent publications claim they didn't receive review codes in time. Still, that isn't an uncommon pattern with the Bethesda games. Even if the game does see a ton of engagement and wide acclaim from players at launch, its true measure of success likely won't be felt until Microsoft reports Q3 earnings. If the game underperforms, the company can only cross its fingers that its Activision deal finally closes. All right. And
I
Baron,
don't think that means interfere.
since
sorry.
you've spent the most time playing the game so far, and that game being Starfield, what are your initial thoughts on the game?
Well, I think real life Peter Griffin put probably more hours than me. But my first, I played for 7 hours and 22 minutes so far of this game. Yeah, I wasted a day. I admit it. I like it. I mean, if you're going to go out there for, I mean, yeah, you can hunt down and get into shootouts and have it into a shooting game. Others, it's like, you know, you go on your little missions. I've been doing side quests. I only did the first main mission, and I want to get my character up. And those are fun too. And someone said that this is Fallout in space, and it's not a bad thing. And yeah, it's not. It's a lot more friendlier than the Fallout universe, obviously. I'm liking it. This is looking like something I'm going to. 7 hours 22 minutes. I only ran into one little bug. And I know people are going to go, "Oh my God, Bethesda, they're so bug filled." One bug in 7 hours and 22 minutes of playing. And that's pretty darn good in my book, especially for something that's launch, so close to launch date, and that's what people are saying, like 1 or 2 bugs in here after so many hours, and I believe it now. I can understand that they probably didn't send out some reviewer codes until later for those that are hostile. That Bethesda can do no right, and let's face it, they're out there. This could be
there are people that'll have. There are people that'll have rants and say, "Oh, Bethesda, they do this wrong, they do that wrong," and they're not willing to give this game a chance.
Right. Exactly. It's like, it's crap. It's Bethesda, blah, blah, blah. And, I was hearing a lot of that beforehand, but it's like, as I would say, they have so much invested in this, especially with Microsoft. I'm sure they came down saying, we can't have a buggy game. We can't, especially after 76, I think there was enough egg on their face. That they're going to go, no, we're going to go straight through. We're going to make sure this is great. It was already held back a little bit, for several reasons. One of which I'm sure making sure they have the best game possible. If they have Game Pass in the room on your computer, for that matter, get it and give it a try. It's fun. Depends on how you want to play it. It can be wild. Depends on how you make your character, all that. And, talking about Bethesda can do no right. I was just looking at this thing here. A person put in there. It said, a gamer sent their friend real photos of Mars, claiming that they were gameplay screenshots of Starfield. And their friend said, the image doesn't look good. I mean, like I said, no matter what, you can do something like that, and they're just going to pile on it. And for all the faults that Bethesda had, it looks like they're finally listening and following through.
Yeah, and I'll take the word over people that have actually played it and given it a chance, over people that are just saying, "Oh no, it's a Bethesda game. I'm not going to play it." I mean, I only played a few minutes, so I can't really speak of it as far as the gameplay experience and getting immersed into the world that the game is centered around. But I'm looking forward to actually streaming it, and that stream will happen tomorrow.
Yeah, Mike played. Actually, he completed the game in that short time. He played on super hard die mode in 3 minutes into the game.
Oh, amazing!
And he completed the game. I mean, that's a completion of a game. It's not the way you want to complete it, but you have to go do
super duper hard mode. That's amazing. Where you die like 2,000 billion times. That's awesome.
Death mode.
What do you say? I die a lot when I play a game. At least I get back up, dust myself off, and keep going. I can do this all day.
We expect nothing less, right, Baron? Come on.
Yeah, he gets back up and he dies again. How pathetic can he be? He gets up. He gets killed again. He shouldn't be
Oh,
playing.
come on. Some bosses are hard. I mean, Cash was watching me play the Messenger last night, and there was a boss. I'd already been in it offline before, but I was just having a hard time doing it on stream.
Yeah. Well, like
Just,
that Evil West you had. Oh my, is it Evil West? That's the name of that game. You're getting that final
Evil
boss
West.
and just getting your butt kicked. It's like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
Evil Dead? No, Evil West. I think.
Yeah, Evil West.
Dead.
Yeah, where I had to go, okay, I'm
Yep.
ill-equipped to battle
Yeah.
the final boss in this first
Mhm.
run through. So I actually,
Mhm.
for anyone who didn't see it, I actually went
Mhm.
back through the whole
Mhm.
entire game and did
That's
different
dedication right there.
abilities just so I can get back to the final boss and beat the
Yep.
final boss.
Yep, because his build, the game told him to basically go screw himself, and it was time to change the build, unfortunately. So,
Gee, guys, I'm going home. Yeah, and that's why
Yes.
I'm doing a lot of these side quests right away. I want to get my
Right.
character beefed up a little bit before I start tackling other things. And that's what's nice
Do
about
it,
it. You
man.
got those side quests to do it. Get yourself acclimated into the universe, get yourself acclimated with the controls because they're a little different and there's a little, uniqueness.
As
to
long
them.
as they're fun, man, and they're not just fetch
Yeah.
quests, because those can get annoying on any game.
Yeah, some are fetch quests and some are, you got to figure out why this guy's trying to kill you, type of thing.
Oh, of course. Well,
Well, I
Who did you
mean,
piss
that's what
off today?
annoyed Cash and I about Gotham Knights. All the stupid side quests you had to do before you could even get to the main mission.
It was so repetitive, and then on top of it, it's still buggy. It's still buggy.
Yeah.
When I played it
Yeah.
a few months ago and I went back to it, it's like I just want to throw my controller into the freaking screen or something. It's just horrible. There's no reason for it's half a game. This is not nearly as good as the Arkham games. None of them. Not even Arkham Knight. This is like a half-baked game. And sure, there's some fun to it. And Mike and I had some fun playing together, but it's like, is this something I want to finish? Well, I'm like, well, Mike finished it, so I'm kind of like, maybe I need to finish it too, just
Yeah,
to say,
but-
hey, I finished it. Never play it
I've
again.
told you, you don't have to finish it because
I know
I finished it. If
It's
you hate
just
the
like-
game,
it's okay, but it's so frustrating when you're trying to do something and then the bugs started, then the game crashes. Like, why do I have to put up with this shit?
exactly.
Mike-
but
Mike,
you know,
you should
on
know
the plus
better.
side, I'm glad we didn't pay full price for the game. I'm glad
No.
when we saw it on sale on Steam,
Yes.
that's when we purchased it.
Yeah, on either
Well,
on Steam or CD Keys or one of those other sites out there that people use. Yeah.
Yeah, well,
That
you know
work.
that Cash is going to continue playing through the game just for this one reason.
I don't want my pain taken away. I need my pain.
I really do, man. I mean,
Mhm.
I suggest everybody play Uncharted 4 on crushing difficulty. No, I do not. I do
then-
not.
After he's done playing the game, he comes onto this channel.
You know
and-
what really grinds my gears?
That's right.
Well, speaking of grinding gears, let's go ahead and move on to our next article because I got a few things to say about this.
I didn't realize we're going to have a good segue like that. I was on plan, folks.
Mhm.
That's how professional we are.
We just
Oh.
we need more games like Starfield, and yes, there is some pandering, and everybody can admit that. But us screaming at the sky about something that hopefully modders will probably just take out, and if you don't want it, use the mods, and it'll be gone. But I don't know. From what I've seen of Starfield, I'm gonna play it some, definitely.
Yeah.
Put some time into it.
I mean, here's a little sample. One of the side
That's right.
quests.
I said, I ain't giving you no tree fitty, you goddamn Loch Ness monster. Get your own goddamn money.
I gave him
Yeah, that's one of the side quests right there. I didn't want to. I'm sorry, Mike. You should have put up spoilers. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so very sorry. Yeah.
Oh,
Sorry.
wait, we didn't put up spoilers. Oh my gosh, they're gonna burn me at the stake.
Dun,
Yeah?
dun,
Why not?
dun.
Oh, by the way, wait, now I'm on.
and
live
instead of
stream in
burning the steak,
Minneapolis.
why don't you just cook it medium rare? There, cook the steak medium rare, and I'll be very happy.
You got to have some red in there. You can't, you can't char it.
Oh,
You know, ladies and
if you
gentlemen,
if you're a good cook, even if you chart, you can still have a good steak.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Oh, by the way, we're going to have the first on-screen appearance of El Diablo Gato. This is El Diablo
There
Gato,
he is.
everybody. Now there's the
See it.
furry face to the name. This is the asshole.
Oh, how can he be an asshole?
That is so- I know,
oh,
Right there. See?
well, where's the real sidekick? Where's Mr. Mouse?
Man, look at that cat. It really just keeps
He's like,
jumping
wait a minute,
around
you're
Baron's
on-
area.
You're
It
on
just says,
camera. I
love
want to
you,
be on
Baron.
camera.
Yeah, I want to be on camera too. Yep.
And of course,
Yeah.
knocking over.
And then he knocks
cat-
over
That
your
cat
windscreen.
loves Baron, though. He's like
And
sleeping
he's
at
trying to
night.
get to
Tries
this. This is Mouse's
Of
food.
course.
And he's not supposed to have that because it can kill him. And I'm trying to figure out, is this a bad thing? I have not decided.
We do not condone violence of animals
No.
here on Pop
No,
Talk.
no, we don't condone animal cruelty of any kind.
We do not.
Except El Diablo Gato. You should see what he does to me.
Not
No.
even El Diablo
No,
Gato.
no.
Not even El Diablo.
No.
Don't do that. No.
I say a lot of
Now,
things. I
the
say a lot
cat
of
might
things,
be
but I wouldn't.
possessed. We don't know. So Baron will find
Well,
out for it. He's gonna.
Don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody. He's kind of grown on me, but he's still an asshole.
Uh-oh.
Well, he has something
That's
about
why
me.
that's why he keeps coming around, Baron. He knows he's growing on you, and he's like, I
I'm the
need to
freak-
soften this guy up a little more.
I'm the freaking Saint Francis of Assisi around here. No matter what, I sit down. Virtually all the animals are there. Well, Mouse keeps a little bit of distance because he's still not happy with the dogs, but he can be right next to me too and have the dogs in my lap. And oh god, I'm gonna. I always said it was gonna be books that's gonna crush me to death. No, it's the animals.
They love you, Baron.
Love me to death.
And Angry Canadian says every time I look over, I see Baron with a new background.
He does.
I'm traveling right now. I'm on Lake Street in Minneapolis here, just to give you that things are getting a lot better here. I mean, as you can see here, there's only been a couple buildings burned down, so so I mean, we're getting better. We're getting better here, folks. I get my green screen on Friday, by the way, so things will look a lot better behind me.
So they'll look solid. They'll look
Yeah.
solid like it does with my green
Yeah.
screen.
Yeah, except
Yeah, that's right,
there.
folks.
See that?
I'm on camera after so many months of being off camera. I'm on
Dun,
camera again.
Dun, dun.
That's because I
And
came on
watch,
camera.
everybody's gonna go, get him off, get him off, get him off the camera. Please get him off the camera.
We're still trying to get
No, I'm not-
credit crypto coin down there.
Crypto coin.
Yeah, what? Yeah, Baron Orman Tagge. Orman Tagge.
Yeah. Horny tag, yeah.
Horny
Tag. Horny tag. Fun to eat.
And Blazer
Indeed.
Huck Darren, good to see you. He says, only kill the animals in self-defense.
Yeah, well.
I'm sorry, kill the
well,
animals only in self-defense. Depends on
no.
what kind of animals they are. If you got a
Well-
pack of wolves coming after you, well, good luck.
That's a rough one, man. Yeah.
That cow, he looked at me oddly. I had to take him down. Yum. Yeah, but don't get yourself.
You know
don't
what?
Get yourself.
My stomach was growling. And I looked at that cow and I said, "Ha lunch."
That chicken took a shot right in front of me. That's it. Lunchtime. It's got punishment. Jury executioner, I sentence you to fry, literally. But times I have threatened to take Obi down to the Chinese restaurant down the hill. That's really good. I can't sit down the hill
Yeah,
anymore
yeah.
because I'm not at Tagge Manor. But I mean, this place in town is excellent. I love the fried rice, and it's like, cat fried rice sounds interesting for once.
Yeah, I bet it's a little tough.
Now, anyone here, just want to let you know, anyone here is going to get their freaking nose out of joint about what I've said here and what I'll be saying in this article.
Oh, wow.
Settle down, because one, my future son-in-law is Chinese, and you should hear all the crap that goes back and forth that we have with our barbs back and forth. So it's like, lighten up, Francis. The other part is my daughter's.
I could just play that clip, Aaron. I mean, for
well,
anybody
I'm just
who might get their,
undies is a bunch.
all twisted and all,
Mhm.
all, their panties in the bunch, like you just said. Well,
Yeah.
Lighten up, Francis.
Yeah, Francis, lighten up. Jeez.
And my daughter, she's autistic, so I mean, you should hear us go back and forth with and stuff like my wife
The
goes, "My God, what are you saying to her and all that?" She's saying it back. It was a game. Come on, lighten up, Francis. Oh, sorry.
yeah, but dude,
So
it's
it's
just,
Lighten up, Francis.
the reality is, and some people don't like me saying this, and maybe more people don't. It's all this pandering. I think they think that this is going to get them more money and say, "Oh, I'm here for you. Here I am. I care about you."
I'm your ally. No, you're not. You're no,
No,
you're,
you're
no,
not.
no. You're anything but an ally.
yeah, hardly anything like that. No, it's
So-
just
So we have this
go
article
over. I
from.
might get back to Starfield.
I know. Anyways,
like a kid that can't
Mr.
be so-
Starfield, we have a Dungeons and Dragons related article. D&D introduces its first canonically autistic character in the Book of Many Things, and this article is by Julia Anderson. And the first paragraph goes a little something like this: Dungeons and Dragons upcoming release, the Book of Many Things, includes the TTRPGs or tabletop RPG, however you want to say it. First canonically autistic character per Polygon Wizards of the Coast. Next book delves into the mysterious nature of D&D's famed The Deck of Many Things. The box set includes the Book of Many Things and the Infamous deck, known for its chaotic nature that has yet to be explained in the official D&D lore. In the new volume, Wizards of the Coast introduces a new character as the apparent author of the book, Asteria, a princess turned paladin who happens to be autistic.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Now, I know I'm probably gonna get the ire of Twitter, but as someone who was born with cerebral palsy, I don't need to see myself in a game, a movie, a board game, or anything else. I just want a good, compelling story with characters I actually give a fuck about.
Yay.
Well, I mean, Jiminy Crickets. There's some. First of all, we kind of knew officially in D&D in previous editions about the deck of many things. You don't need to go further, or I sit back and say because we do something in the new edition, we finally have it. They do that all the time with freaking Star Wars, with Disney, where they're taking something that's already existing and say, "Hey, guess what? We just, we just came up with something." And it's like, yeah, it's official. This is the first official canon. It's like, bite me. When it comes to also, okay, really honestly, a lot of us figured that people who are in the field of spellcasting and such were a little in that category, because of the nature of stuff. Think of Sheldon Cooper, obviously a character in TV that was on the autism spectrum. Sherlock, again, the same thing was, obviously on the spectrum, and people suspect that, Sherlock Holmes was, but they didn't have anything to say other than the fact that that person is either peculiar or queer, and the sense of the, real meaning of the word, not the whatever. So why do we need to have it? We always knew that our mages were a little off in the first place. It's like that guy right there, Phil McCracken. He's a little off,
True.
Yes.
And
so again,
I
why
want
do
to
we
say
need
hello
it?
to George Lucas as well, real quick.
Come on, $2 billion. You can get Disney back and Lucasfilm back and be $2 billion ahead. Come on, George, step it up. Come on. And
Let's go, George.
Yeah, and then kick Dave Filoni in the nuts as hard as you can. Okay, come on, please, George. We're sorry. We're sorry, George. Okay, why do we need to have this?
Pandering.
It's pandering, and also for those who basically want to feel like they matter in the world. You don't need Dungeons and Dragons, a TV show, a movie, or any other
Right,
book or video
right.
game to tell you that you matter.
Yeah, that to validate you. And of course, I think we get the answers as we go along in the story because I kind of read a little bit ahead. But I'll let you go, man. Unless you have anybody else has anything to say, I'll keep my mouth shut for now.
If Cash has anything to say, go ahead, Cash.
It's just nonsense. And then a bunch of people are going to attack you, and we'll call them drones. And because you don't like this, it's stupid. It's always stupid. It's just like we're giving awards now for accessibility, and I'm like, did people really need that? Some game, it's just like this show's for you. Maybe this show's not. This game's for you. Maybe it's not. But if people want to put that in, it's fine. But do we need to give more participation trophies for this stuff? This
Who the
to
hell
me is
wants a
just
participation trophy?
other people that just so they can feel good because it's my feelings again. It's always my feelings.
Yeah, feelings. Yeah,
They don't care about your feelings, but you need to care about theirs.
Of course, isn't that how it works? What's good for
Always.
me is only about me.
Yep. Seems about right.
Forget about your thoughts and beliefs. It's all about my thoughts and beliefs.
That's right.
mm-hmm.
None of this stuff works out. It's really ridiculous to me. It's the same people who think that we didn't see people before in the 90s in wheelchairs and they were always picked on and all this stupid stuff. No. Do we need to go back to generation 1 of Transformers, for example?
G1 Transformers. And for anyone who missed it, I'm just going to go ahead and play this clip real quick. Because in case you didn't know, Baron and Cash were both in an episode of G1 Transformers. Yes, they were. You don't believe me? Here's the proof.
Go on! Save her! Save her!
Today, Chumley, not today.
Drat! Outsmarted by a lorry! I am disgraced!
I hate when I'm outsmarted by a lorry. But you notice that Cash is my employee.
yes. I did notice that. It seems like the right way to go. And of course, we have Lord Crit of Everest Productions. Who says the Starfield discourse is nonsense, the pronoun debate is nonsense. Does anyone even ever talk about gameplay? Games should disqualify themselves if people say it only gets good 12 hours in. Yeah.
I think. Well, what did I say? I mean, I didn't even bring up any of that stuff. I went straight on the gameplay and the story, and so there's many paths you can take. If it takes them 12 hours in to get to getting it good, they're bad players.
Yeah.
Just learn to play the game better. Yeah, I mean,
our code 1 is 2.
Yeah.
All right.
Make a mod.
Yeah, I mean, it's on PC. You can easily make a mod. And if you can't do it, someone else will.
Yeah.
So this article continues by saying Mackenzie DeArmas, a designer on the Book of Many Things, revealed that Asteria's autism came about organically. Part of the story sees the narrator befriend a Medusa known for turning people into stone through eye contact. The team agreed a friendship with a Medusa would be difficult, but not if they didn't make eye contact anyway. DeArmas, who is also autistic, took inspiration from her personal experiences when creating Asteria. See, there we go again. Somebody inserting themselves.
Always, man. Always.
Into the art.
This was my experience with D&D, and how dare you? You don't understand my experience. Well, other people have experiences too. I was not included in this game. Sure, whatever.
Darmus, did you take on a Medusa really and become friends with it? Oh, really? It's nice. First of all, excuse me. This is what's BS about WotC 5th edition, what they've turned it into. And it's because of morons like that. Not because she's autistic. It's because she's a moron. I mean, you can have people who are not morons that are autistic, right? Because that's human nature. You're either going to be one or not. And it doesn't matter anything beside that. But yeah, another self-insert. But now we're making friends with Medusas. No, they are hateful, mean creatures. It's like this is not organic. This is your fan fiction, and you're playing to yourself. You are Astria, or
Mhm.
whatever the hell that is your character. I mean, even look how her name, and that name are somewhat similar.
Yeah.
She, she just basically said now she can go home and do whatever it is that she does to pleasure herself, and just think about I'm now in D&D officially. I'm a D&D officially. I'm a real D&D person. Yeah, the original creators of D&D did insert themselves in, but that was a true organic one that we're talking about, because these people were playing the games and they're using their gameplay to help others get into the game and know what to do. So Gygax's character became part of the universe, as did Luke Gygax and Ernie Gygax and many of the others that were playing through in the early days of playing Dungeons and Dragons and through there. But again, that was a natural organic growth. It was not necessarily them per se, but it was their characters. It was not them inserting themselves into the world. It was their
Mhm.
characters growing. And of course, obviously, part of their personalities or how they go. In fact, there were some players that got mad, or one player that got mad because he turned his character evil into a bad guy. He did not like that. And that was after they're done playing. But again, that was a true organic build. Not this. This is fan fiction, folks, with an official WotC label on it.
Mhm.
Uh,
Just like with Star Trek, we get fan fiction for episodes. I mean, that musical episode that should have never been greenlit.
mm. And in a fantasy world like this, they would not have known what the hell autism is. Honestly, again, they view it as a peculiarity of a person. That's how they would view it, especially if you went in the areas of either being a mage or even a fool. Even though fools weren't, they were probably the smartest man in the entire room because they knew how to stay alive. you know,
Mhm.
being the fool. It's self-insertion.
Yeah.
Congratulations, fangirl. Sorry, did I assume your gender? I'm sorry, but congratulations,
Sorry,
fangirl.
not sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe they're trans. I don't know. Uh, so what can you say? But they didn't give us enough information, so crucify me. I haven't had. Of all the people here, I've hardly got any hate mail. I think it's my turn to try to generate that. I don't know if people really like me or they're scared of me, but
So this
they like
article
me.
goes
They
on.
like me.
This article goes on by saying the Book of Many Fiends deviates with side stories from Asteria throughout. These include her anger toward another character for destroying her fidget toy or forgetting to eat while hyperfixating on a puzzle. As the Armis notes, the team wanted to make sure Asteria's autism featured throughout her actions rather than defining her. But isn't that exactly what you're doing? You're trying to have it define the character?
Right. Exactly. And that's not the purpose.
Yeah. And for some reason the Rumble side is offline at the moment. So
Yeah,
we're
I saw
just gonna
that.
continue here. Yeah. So I'm not worried about it. It's happened before. It'll pick back up again. So let's go ahead
I'm worried.
and continue with this article. It says it's not just a little ribbon that's put under her character. The Armis explained, well, wouldn't it be since you yourself are autistic and you're making this character autistic, you're inserting yourself into this particular storyline?
And you're making a big deal about it?
Yeah. And goes on to say that Darmis explains it. She says it permeates all of her actions, but it doesn't define her. Okay, if it doesn't define her, then why are you making a big deal about it? Why don't you just say,
Mhm.
we have this new character. She has different abilities. She's befriended a Medusa. They don't look at each other in the eye, but she's befriended a Medusa.
That's because they screwed up. They decided to destroy the entire. Yeah, never mind.
And let's see, it permeates all of her actions, but it doesn't define her. She gets to express her love of other things beyond just I'm autistic, and it's so rewarding to see her experiences and get to reflect her experiences through the notes and her story. The Deck of Many Things box set releases November 14th of this year. Early access begins on October 31st with a physical and digital bundle purchased on Wizards of the Coast website.
I'm not buying it.
No,
I'm just curious about the author. They had something down there about the author. I'm just kind of curious about the author.
All right, I will scroll down. All right.
Yeah.
Julia Anderson is the lead gaming news editor for CBR. She is a lifelong gamer and bookworm, spending most of her childhood either glued to a novel or the computer. As a teen, she found herself deeply embedded in the fan fiction community and discovered her talent for writing and editing. Since then, she's run her own freelance writing, excuse me, and editing business. Anderson Woodsmith, when she isn't reading or playing D&D, RPGs, or stealth-based games, Julia is usually found imitating old age, drinking herbal tea in her favorite chair, crocheting, and watching a Shakespeare or Jane Austen adaptation with her faithful dog Ben.
I just say, look how self-important we are. Wait a moment. So she's, let's just say, I think she looks like it might be in the 40s. The way she's saying about that. How can she have played all this role-playing game stuff? Women were included with all that. We made sure of that. No women allowed.
Yeah, a few months ago we read an article related to Dungeons and Dragons, and you folks missed quite the rant by Baron during that episode.
yeah.
But where
Yeah, I mean,
the person in the article was saying, "I was never represented. I was never allowed to play D&D. Someone like me wasn't allowed."
yeah. I mean, if you open up the first page of the old D&D books, it says no girls allowed. Really, it said that no girls allowed, and we stuck to it. No girls played D&D.
It said in big black and red letters too. It said no girls allowed.
It
said that right when you opened it up,
Club.
and it said,
Yeah.
"Wow, we only want men playing this game. Women can't play this game. They're not allowed." It said in big black letters, red letters. Yep, very bold.
And even now in the clubhouse, the He-Man Woman Haters Club, Baron was all busy at his D&D, and then Mrs. Orman, the long suffering, came along, and Baron's like, oh, I like women. Let her in.
No, she knows better. She says, I don't want to go in there. That's a strange, weird world over there. Oh, I don't want to.
Yeah.
Like,
you said you didn't want it there. You're thinking, I don't know. I'm curious.
Well, I mean, it's just like, what was it, Amelia Clark being like the whole thing about the comic book store. Women weren't allowed in the 90s. Yeah, okay.
Yes,
whatever.
they were. Yes, they were.
No, we made
Can you
sure
prove
that.
Do you actually have video of that, or are you just talking out of your ass? But the funny thing is, other people believe it. Yeah, that happened to me too. And I said, and I will always say, if it happened to you, or people are saying that you're not welcome in this game, then don't come back. Just say F you and go away. Just don't put up with that nonsense.
Well, I think it's part of the Mandela Club. One says it, and it's like, oh yeah, that's how it always. Yeah, that's how. Like, oh really? Yes, that's how.
Of course, that's how it did. And other people go, oh, they do. That's horrible. How could you put up with that? These people are awful. I told you they're misogynist and they're sexist.
I'm not. I will, and this is for Phil. I will sit back and state that I am sure there were groups out there that were that way. I mean, honestly,
Yes.
I think there was, because
I'm
you're
sure
talking
there were
about
some
a bunch
groups,
of
sure.
awkward boys that didn't want to be around women for many reasons. So yeah, it was kind of
Right.
didn't have them included in there. But I've never really known any of them. Honestly,
No.
all the way
No,
back
me
to
either,
even
man.
the earliest days, there was a girl that was involved playing R2, playing in the game. And no, we didn't have raunchous orgy sex with bears or anything like that, like they want to try to portray. That was the furthest thing from our mind. Well, I mean, that's just it. That was the furthest thing from our mind.
Wait a
when it
second,
came
Baron.
to it.
You're telling me that you didn't dress up as a bear and scare people in D&D? Like, I'm coming for you, and then you start making bear
Why
sounds.
do I have to dress up? Why do I have to dress up?
That's true.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you see behind the scenes how I make the noise. Yeah. The Incel Club. That's kind of like the Breakfast Club for gamers. Yeah. It kind of reminds me, old Phil there was talking about, to hide the blood, why they made the uniforms red. So when they get shot, the British would get shot. They couldn't see the blood and wouldn't be demoralized. And they go, oh, that must be the reason why the French have brown pants. Ba-dum-bum.
Ba-dum-bum.
Yeah.
Hi-oh!
That's a joke. Laugh, please.
I don't know who any of those people are.
That's the reason. Either that is.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
I think that's more appropriate right there.
Oh, yeah.
I think that. No, we don't. Again, why we don't need that? We don't need that pandering.
And we never need that pandering. It's like it's the same thing. Like, you have to have this in your game. You have to have this in your media. You have to have this in your movie. No, I don't. Who's making it? You? No, I'm making it. Yeah.
I mean, if you want to have that your homebrew, go ahead. Have it your homebrew. That's what's great about it. That's what because you make this your world. The reason why these things are so generic in those aspects is so you can make your own world. Are you creative enough to do that? Or do you need to have a freaking book because you can't figure something out? I just like having books to get new ideas and see where other people's thoughts go. Myself, but I can make up my own world good enough.
Exactly.
Oh, by the way, a Starfield update. Someone finally did it. I was wondering if they would. They made a Borg cube in Starfield. Back to you, Mike.
Alrighty, and since when did I get invaded by the Communist Party of Russia?
I don't know.
Comrade, yes, because
he wanted it to match with his red shirt. So yeah.
The Comrade Phil was making comments about that, Comrade, and of course we know that secretly he is part of Politburo. I mean, he is from Delaware. He's from Delaware. And I'm sure he tries to pass himself off as Italian. He's not Italian. He's Georgian. He's Georgian. And I'm not talking about state Georgia.
Okay.
He's from he's what we call Black Russian. Yeah. Yeah. And he wants to try to make himself. But there's a reason why Comrade Phil lives in Delaware. It's close to where his good friend was. And now he has to take a little bit longer trips to see his good friend. But yeah.
Yes.
Yes, Comrade Baron. Oh boy. What I know it. Well, we could do the whole show on camera, but I think we're gonna scare more people away.
Well, Chin Money is too scared too. He's
no, my webcam's not on right now. So you got Bash.
So let's go ahead and go into this article from Niche Gamer. I mean, after all, we need to be offended about everything nowadays, according to a certain generation or two or three.
Yes.
Side boob. Oh.
Okay, well, Baron.
Well,
Oh my.
Oh my.
All right, so we have this article from Niche Gamer. It says artist harassed over extra thick fear and hunger illustration. And this is by Primal. It was posted on the 6th, which is today. And says an artist that drew a very thick and sexy illustration of Darcy from the game Fear and Hunger has been attacked on social media. Whoa. Are we surprised? No, really, are we surprised
It's
that
common,
somebody on social
unfortunately.
media sees something and go, I don't like this. Yeah.
We got to take care of that, comrade. Just give us a chance.
The artist was hit with the expected amount of harassment and death threats from Twitter after posting the above artwork. Yes, Twitter is, well, it's still a shithole.
Oh,
It's still mostly a shithole, yes. It's a little bit better, but that's not saying much. Twix is not much better, yeah.
yeah, Twix. Let's call it what it is.
Everything started when the artist shared their cute illustration that depicts Darcy as a bit more curvaceous than usual. Okay, well, guess what? There are women out there who are curvaceous. They have thick thighs. They are well endowed. It's just part of their DNA structure.
Yeah, nothing wrong with it.
Genetics.
I'll be right back. I got to do something now.
Oh no! Oh no!
Whoa, okay.
Oh, that went into a weird area.
No, you did it wrong again. You did it wrong again. How could you? I'm almost hurt that you didn't hit it right. You just didn't hit it right.
Boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
It did.
It really did, man.
Mm-hmm. The artist then released a subsequent tweet detailing the harassment they received over the world-changing piece of fiction. Well, it's not really world-changing. It's just there are a few people that want to make a mountain out of a molehill.
And I like the person's attitude too. I'm gonna make more.
That's right.
That's the best way to counter anybody who starts throwing a hissy fit.
Yep. I think this is definitely a person that maybe we should follow too, because they're just standing up for things that make sense.
Smurf. Yeah, I mean, basically he did this.
You've got an issue. Here's a tissue.
That's right. I love it.
Yeah, I was going through earlier and deciding which clips to keep, which clips to retire for now. And I decided to keep that one. And let's see, TJ Smurf says, and it's clear they're just here for the drama since they don't care about my more mild Fear and Hunger fan art of the girl. No, they see something they don't like and you go, oh, I'm offended. I'm instantly offended. You need to change that for me because I got my panties in a bunch. I got everything twisted and knotted because I can't handle life.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not asking people to change stuff in Beargate 3. We'll make fun of it all day because it's easy, but we're not asking people. But man, you put a woman in some kind of mini skirt or something, and she's attractive. That's it, man. The wolves come out in force, especially online.
She's attractive. She's showing skin. No, you're fine. You're fine. PG Smurf also said, extra shout out to the one who said she's for lesbians only toward the character, who was specifically a huge simp toward a male character and who is candidly fine with having sex with 3 male playable characters. Let's see. These wokies, they start attacking, and then all of a sudden, somebody brings out a fax. Well, we all know what happens when you bring out fax. Change the goalpost, quick!
That's right.
Right.
That's right. Every time.
Doing the insults because, yeah, again, if people inserting themselves in, because as we take a look at the people who are making critical statements, there's a reason why old TG there did that. And with your permission, I'm going to put that Twitter location in there. Show this person some love.
Yeah.
Because we got to be together. We're all in this together.
Don't apologize. And it doesn't seem like this person. I hope they don't go back and apologize. Just don't.
No.
If somebody's sending you these threats and whatever, you're doing something right, man. Don't.
Yeah.
It's stupid. It's just always stupid.
Right. Absolutely. But yeah, show us some solidarity to our fellow, people here. Oh yeah, I see the new one he made up. Ooh, one of the new ones.
If you want to show it, Baron, let's share it.
Yeah, go ahead, man. I'm sure this guy could use some more attention. So.
Why not? Second, let me. Is this it? Yeah, there we go. Let me bring it over here, and let me get back. I'm playing games. Isn't that fun? That's fun. Share screen. I'm going to share screen.
Okay.
Actually, this one was on the 3rd, so he did this one on the 3rd. Yeah. Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, and guess what? Yeah. There are women that actually look like that. I know. Perish the thought.
I'm not complaining. Thick thighs saves lives. I beat you, Cash.
You did. Good job.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, more cushion for the pushing, as they say. Nice to have those bumpers. I mean, really, honestly, these are the same people who are probably going out there saying, "How dare you fat shame Lizzo?"
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure.
How dare you fat shame Lizzo? But this is too much. She's too, she's so chubby and she shows off all her assets and boobages.
Well,
women don't have any boobs.
Not only that, they're trying to say that the character is one way when the character is actually the complete opposite.
Yep.
Right. Exactly. Well, again, they're trying to co-op a character. They're trying to, warp it into their twisted fantasy.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Really, not bad. I mean, to be honest, it's not necessarily my cup of tea for art style, and that I don't think it's bad or whatever, but I can appreciate it greatly. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Everybody's art style is different, and that's what TJ Smurth wants to draw, and how TJ Smurth chooses to draw it. Well, then guess what? I'm going to go to the Wayback Machine of YouTube. Instead of leave Brittany alone, leave TJ Smurth alone.
Mm-hmm.
They're an artist creating art. Art is subjective. You don't have to like it, but you also don't have to look at it.
That's
if
right.
you don't like it.
Nope.
Well, that's what we're told about good old Robert Mapplethorpe, and we tried to sit back and say, put his artwork where the kids can't see it, because no kid needs to see a bullwhip up somebody's ass. Honest, which was one of his self portraits. I'm not kidding. But I mean, I was just kind of looking through here, and the one person was sitting back saying that this has got to go. That the images that we saw should go to a porn sub. Delete it and put it into a porn sub. What's pornographic about that?
Nothing's pornographic.
Except for the head and the
everything's covered up except for her head.
You don't have the protruding headlights. You don't have the camel toe. None of that. That would be suggestive in that area.
And these are more tweets from TG Smurth, the artist. I mean, what's so bad about this art style? There's nothing wrong about it. I've seen other artists on YouTube who draw like this.
Yeah. I mean, I can appreciate it, especially if he's doing hand, his hand drawn on paper or whatever. If he's doing it that way, or even if he's doing it on the computer, it's still, it's good work. It's good work. It doesn't necessarily have to be your cup of tea, but you can still appreciate it.
She's not built like that. It's a different rendering of the character. Okay?
Right. The same people want to turn around and twist characters their way. And I'm like having it as a fan thing, completely a fan thing. And this is just something silly and fun to have. They want theirs to be made serious, even though they're sillier. No more ridiculous.
No, I do agree with the author of this article in this paragraph right here, which says such bouts of hatred over harmless fictional art are sadly common in the current era, as people of the West seem to care more about fiction than reality. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
100% right. 100% right.
Also, as noted by the artist, such individuals also happen to be massive hypocrites. Yep. Thankfully, the artist was. Thankfully, the artist was also undaunted by the nonsense, unlike some artists who apologize over such matters when there is nothing to apologize for. More questionable comments directed towards the artwork. Well, there's your answer, folks. There is your answer right there.
Yep.
Yeah.
At least they like Bloodborne, but still, come on.
Yeah. They say they like it. And look at some of the other art that these people. I hate artists. It's like
my art style's different from this art style. Baron's art style would be different. Jet Sparks would be different. Cash Money's would be different. Old Man's Angry Canadian Crits.
Yeah, I'm stick figure guy.
Stick figure with big round circles, right?
Hey, order this it, man.
Yes. And Samu of Bono Acclaim says, isn't a major theme of this game how horrible over sexual... Oh, please, shut the fuck up.
Then don't play the game. Don't play the game.
Seriously, that's really what it is.
If you don't like it, go play Baldur's Gate, Baron Life. Oh, that's okay over sexualized. By the way, that's fine. This isn't, because you don't have boob and butt slayers in Baron Gate and Baldur's Bearer.
This is.
Do you even
God, really?
Yeah. Do you understand? Do you understand? I don't understand. What the hell? I don't understand. Except for grunge, Y2K, Cyberdo, as a he/him. Yeah, there's a little bit of doubt in that, folks. Other than that, it starts going nuts. It was like crochet, DNI. I mean, I don't know. And I love that one. That one comment about just scroll back up a little bit to that one picture up above. Yeah, right there. No. We can see the porn addiction a mile away. Get it if you get the fuck away from fear and hunger. Yeah, go back to playing Baldur's Gate 3 because I'm sure you're playing it. Look at this.
Yeah.
Look at it. Yeah, but let's see.
Boy.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Phineas Bus, 18, he, they, it, artist, furry. Okay, well, that explains a few things. A full-time silly guy, rodent lover, bird hugger, German English. I used to be whatever.
Yeah. And
any pronouns. Oh gosh.
Any pronoun. I alone am the goat. Yeah, right.
You come brain freaks to get locked up. I'm serious. Oh yeah, you see what other people post? It's far worse than this. Far worse.
This is quite tame, actually.
This is a big nothing burger. I've seen worse in Comic Code Authority comics.
Yeah.
get woke and be an
I love
idiot.
that. I am so. Oh no, go back to up a little bit there too, where you see the green guy. There.
Yeah.
I
Right
am
here, right
so
here.
fucking awesome. Yeah. I hyperfixate over a lot of stuff as of right now. Pizza Tower, UTDRFNAF, blah blah blah.
Plants
He,
vs
him.
Zombie, and I don't
Okay.
know what some of that is. Yeah, okay.
Probably Candy Crush. I don't know. He, him, gay, minor. He had to put minor in there.
Yeah.
Not safe. He's a not safe for work minor.
Oh gosh. I'm not gonna. Okay, good. I was gonna say I'm not gonna read the rest of these. I need to save my brain cells.
Yes.
I know, but it's fun to see what this
is very
the
funny.
people right here.
Yes.
This niche gamer. I'm glad that they went after these hunyucks.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Yes. They ran into some problems. They were of some copyright infringement before, but they've all fixed that. The thing that sucks about this website is they used to have comment section. Now it's like, oh, you have to pay. It's like, I still enjoy their articles though.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm glad they're talking about this. This is the second time. The other one was, I think they've talked about this at least a few times. The other one was the Zelda. I can't wait to see what's next. It's crazy.
Yeah, I did see that about Az Jet Sparks. It's like, well, you know, that's Az's opinion, and he even admitted he did it for clicks. But you know what? That's his opinion. He's standing by his opinion, and
I mean, sure, and other people can say, yeah, it probably was a little too much, but still, I mean, you know, you like it, you don't like it, whatever. It's his opinion, so.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, everyone's talking about that. That's why we're not. We like to hit stuff that people aren't. No offense, Adam.
Mm-hmm.
No offense.
No offense to Az. No offense to anybody that wants to cover things like Ahsoka or things that we don't talk about here. I'll be perfectly honest. I'm not interested in watching Ahsoka. That's why I haven't talked about it.
It's all right. Can't blame
Even
you.
though Cash did berate you behind scenes.
Yeah, sure. Right. You do this.
and what did I do? I turned on the camera. I just looked at him like, I don't give a fuck.
Watch whatever you want. I mean, there is no way in hell, I'll say this, after what I've seen from recent Star Trek, I'm done. Like, there's no way I'm gonna watch any more of that. No way.
No
fucking way.
Yeah, certain.
Glad other people like it, but for me, it's like that contract you put in front of the guy in Major League. He pees on it. That's basically how I feel right now about new Trek.
Yeah, the first Major League where George saying about his contract that there's a clause in his contract he doesn't have to do workouts, and then Brown looks at his contract, throws it on the ground, unzips his pants, and just pisses on it.
This is
what I think of your contract, Dord.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yeah. The third Major League movie wasn't that impressive.
No, but at least Bob Uecker had some good lines. Yeah.
Back in the minors.
Back to the minors.
I never seen it.
Yeah.
Okay, I've never seen it. Now
if you're gonna watch it, just watch it for Uecker. Uecker's got some good lines still.
I mean, speaking of Uecker, I mean, you know, even though he broadcast for the Brewers, he is a great broadcaster.
Oh yeah, he was.
Yeah.
And before anybody gets their panties in a bunch, the reason why I said even though he broadcast for the Brewers, remember, I'm a Cub fan. You think I'm gonna cheer for a team in the Central Division, in the National League Central Division, that isn't the Cubs? Unless they're playing a team that the Cubs are trying to get a playoff spot from, I ain't cheering for them. But Bob Uecker's great. I mean, heck, Mr. Belvedere. You know, some people know him from Major League, but Mr. Belvedere. And the guy's in his 80s.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to believe how old he is now. He always looked old, though. I mean, back when he was doing Major League, he looked old. But what a voice.
Yeah, he's got a great voice.
He's got a great voice. But yeah, if you watch Back to the Minors, he's got some good lines, and he drives the other sportscaster crazy when he's in the booth.
Well, he does that all the time.
Yeah, I know he does.
Like,
the hell with it. The hell with it.
Yeah, it's like, what was it? I'm about as excited as a too big Billy Goat. Can I say that on the air?
Yeah.
All right. So I hope Crit's still here because we do have a One Piece story that we're going to talk about next.
Where's our whale? Come on, swim. Swim.
I don't know. I don't know. Come on, Orca Boy, if you're still out there.
Come to us, Orca Boy. Come to us.
We have this article from comicbook.com, and let me go ahead and post it into the two chats. And in case anyone's wondering, I decided, you know what? I'm only dual streaming to YouTube and Rumble this evening.
Screw you, Quicks.
So this article is by Nick Valdez. It was posted yesterday. It says Netflix One Piece debuts Japanese dub with original anime actors. Netflix has debuted the Japanese dub of the One Piece live action series featuring the anime's original voice actors. One Piece is now taking over the world with its new live action series adaptation on Netflix, and now fans of the anime have a whole new way to enjoy the series as the Japanese dub has debuted, featuring the original voice cast behind the anime. And we've all watched numerous episodes so far. I say numerous because it's more than one by now.
Yes.
Of the live action One Piece. And it's not a bad series.
I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
I mean, I know nothing about the One Piece. I don't, but it is what I've been watching here. Is like, this is fascinating, interesting, and nice hearing Crit. Crit sits back and says, well, this character was changed around, but it's actually better this way. I mean, it's nice hearing some of that commentary that Crit has. Being that he loves that show so much. So.
Right.
I get a little bit more out of it, but hearing that. So,
yeah, hearing Crit's perspective on it as a big One Piece fan, he's seen all the episodes, and he can tell us they did it this way in the anime. He's even shown us the clips of what was done in the anime compared to what was done in the live action.
Yeah,
that's great.
I love that. Now, I'm going to ask a question here. It is not sarcastic at all. Has Crit truly, honestly seen every episode?
He's, I mean, as many as they've shown, I guess. He's watched One Piece.
There's like
bunch.
over
I think
1,000
certain
episodes.
I think certain arcs he likes better than other ones, but yeah, he's.
Well,
I would say
that, yeah,
One Piece is definitely his favorite anime. I think he's watched all of it. There might be some things he missed, but I think he's watched the majority of it.
Yeah, I mean, that's like 1,000 and some. I looked up episodes since 2000.
I know, man. I know.
And it's like, and I know Pluto TV right now is playing One Piece anime, and it is it's subtitled on it.
Yeah, it's.
I was catching a little bit of that.
Yeah, I mean the cut down version of the episodes I personally like better than the longer drawn out ones, but.
Right.
I have not seen as much One Piece as Crit, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I've only seen that one episode that he showed us.
I mean, I'm liking the one that they have right now. This one that they had. It looks like they redeemed themselves from Cowboy Flip Flop,
Yeah, and yet IGN wants to just sit there and defend that and how that's better than One Piece. Get out of here. I've actually watched Bebop. They're freaking IGN, man. I'm just
idiots.
They can be such stupid morons. I don't know if they're joking, but
we lost Cash.
Yes, we did.
They cut the power. Gavin
they cut the power. Yeah, we're back. No,
someone need to charge their car. That's what happened. Sorry, Cash. You got to take your power down. Your neighbor's got 2 Teslas.
I'll say it since I don't see Phil in the chat right now. Gavin Newsom says you have to unplug Cash.
Yeah, you have to unplug.
I don't listen to a Mussolini, so yeah.
We have those electric buses and fire trucks. I was watching the one in California fire department, and all their trucks are electric. I'm going, oh my God, this is horrible. They're out there, and all of a sudden they run out of battery power to take out a house. It means,
Oh, nice, dude. Yeah, Apion. Yeah, Apion's a good guy. Gears of War, nice, man. Those are fun games.
Good to see you, the Padawannabe. He's been on the channel a couple times.
You know who he is.
Yeah.
What?
And
I don't know who any of those people are.
I don't.
Don't listen to him, Padawannabe. He's being a smartass.
All right, Apion.
As all of us.
But yes, I just want to make sure that Padawannabe and all channel members know that this Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time will be the second members-only stream. And it will be just like the last one. It's just going to be a chill stream where we relax and talk about whatever. So getting back to this article from comicbook.com, it says One Piece has seemingly done the impossible as it has pleased both fans and new viewers alike with the live-action take on Ichiro Oda's massively popular manga series, and fans have been finding all sorts of elements to enjoy from the new interpretation of a classic series material. Sorry. It goes on to say, now it's just going to be enjoyed even more so. One Piece has debuted its Japanese dub for the live-action series on Netflix, and it features the voice actors behind the anime dubbing the lines of the respective characters. That means actors such as Miyumi Tanaka and Kazuyu Takai return to voice the likes of Monkey D. Luffy and Zoro, respectively, along with the rest of the main Straw Hats and more. You can check out the preview of how the Japanese dub of One Piece live-action series turned out below, thanks to a preview shared by One Piece on X, formerly known as Twitter. What to know about the live-action One Piece? One Piece, both live-action and anime releases, are now available for streaming on Netflix, featuring Matt Owens and Steve Maeda serving as the main showrunners, and One Piece series creator Ichiro Oda greatly involved in production. One Piece stars the main Straw Hat crew of Inaki Godai as Monkey D. Luffy, Mikenyu as Zoro. I'm just going to call him Zoro because his last name is Zoro.
Yes.
Jacob Romero Gibson as Usopp, and Taz Skylar as Sanji. As for what to expect from the live-action series itself, Netflix teases One Piece as such based on Japan's highest-selling manga series in history by Ichiro Oda. One Piece is a legendary high-seas adventurer unlike any other. Monkey D. Luffy is a young adventurer who has longed for a life of freedom since he can remember. Luffy sets off from his small village on a perilous journey to find the legendary fabled treasure One Piece to become king of the pirates. But in order to find the ultimate prize, Luffy will need to assemble the crew he's always wanted before finding a ship to sail, searching every inch of the vast blue seas, outpacing the Marines, and outwitting dangerous rivals at every turn. Have you been liking the live-action One Piece series so far? Yeah, so far so good. Like I've said, only see one episode of the actual anime, so I can't really compare too much, but what Crit is showing us, yeah, I'm liking it.
Free. Anybody who wants them, I'll pay you. Who wants the thing?
Is that thing going to eat your face?
Free. Look, that perfectly fine cat right there. Look, FREE.
It doesn't even want to eat your face, man.
No,
well, you could watch that attack. I'm surprised
that's because I was looking at what I was reading. I wasn't looking at the screen. There,
Wise
secret's
man.
out.
Does that a cat try to attack you when you're sleeping too?
No, because he's
No,
locked in
that's
his
good.
daughter in my daughter's room.
Oh,
He's not
good,
allowed
okay.
to wander at night. Yeah,
And
talking
hello
about
to
you.
T-Gab Steve, who says the artist formerly known as Twit.
Mhm.
And then he says, Kitty!
You want him? You want him, Steve? He's gonna be yours.
He could be yours if the price is right.
Yeah. How much you want? $10, $20, $30?
Yeah, I think that would be the case. But yeah, so, go to Netflix, switch to the Japanese dub, and you can hear the original Japanese voice actors. Sounds like a win-win.
Yeah, I'll go for it.
Yep.
I like that. I like that, comrades.
Yeah, yes. I don't know why, but Baron has gone full communist on this broadcast.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. We're gonna have to
Phil
turn him
outed
in
me.
or something.
Phil outed because of my red shirt. My red shirt. He outed me, so I figured I had to go for it. I had to go for the red. And here I am, because I must break you. I must break you.
Oh, whatever, commie.
Yeah.
Well, look at that, Baron Orman Tagge.
Seems about right.
Yeah, in Soviet Russia, Pop Talk Pop you.
Yeah. Well, old man saying about my wear my KGB hat. I don't have a KGB hat. I got a Soviet military hat, and I got an East German winter hat. Which I don't know where that is right now. It's we have to pull the packing away. It's nice and warm. When I put it on there, the lady sat back and said, "Yes, that becomes you. That looks good on you." It's like, great. I'm an East German.
Oh boy, that's Leslie. You want to be known as, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, Stasi. Nothing wrong with that, I suppose.
All right.
That's Stasi, not the other word. That was the name of the East German security, version of the KGB, folks. Okay, YouTube, idiots.
All right, so we're going to talk about the first of two articles from Bound in the Comics, and you talk about an actor who's based. It's Ian McKellen.
Mm-hmm.
The story is by John F. Trent. It was posted yesterday, and the headline reads as follows: Ian McKellen explains his job as an actor. Is not to presume to tell the audience what to think ever in anything I do. Smart man.
Right.
Actor Ian McKellen, who played Gandalf in Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings film trilogy, shared that he would never presume to tell the audience what to think ever in anything I do. McKellen's comments came back in 2003 while promoting The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King. His comments were recently re-uploaded by Jonathan Watson and shared to his YouTube channel, The One Ring.
Mm-hmm.
McKellen was asked by a reporter, what is the one message that you would like the audiences to get? The one thing that will be the legacy of the Lord of the Rings movies. The Gandalf actor responded, I wouldn't presume to tell the audience what to think, ever, in anything I do. He continued, I am not a politician. I am not
proselytizer.
Pulitzer?
Proselytizer.
Proselytizer? Okay. Thank you, Baron.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
A pamphleteer? I am an actor. And I work on behalf of people who do the writing, who have the message. From there, he explained his role as an actor. My job is not to tell the audience anything. It's just to explain the person that I'm playing beyond the side of the character I'm playing. Good or bad, I don't judge character. Excuse me. McKellen then provided an example when I played Richard III. I didn't say, I'm going to tell the audience why they shouldn't like tyranny and dictators. I just got to go on with explaining why Richard III turned out the way he was, and the same with Gandalf. Do my best to impersonate them, but I can't anticipate the audience's reaction.
Yeah, I
McKellen's
mean, I
comments
remember when he was.
are.
Oh,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I said I remember when he was going around the country with that Richard III. Of course, he was making it more not quite contemporary, but kind of like it was like 1940s or something like that in it. So he kind of did a little bit of that take to bring it in for people to kind of comprehend a little bit more with how they identify people compared to people couple hundred years ago, where they wouldn't necessarily have some of these rankings and such with the people. So. But again, it was still Shakespeare. The lines were still Shakespeare. It was just the costuming and the sets that were not.
And TGAB Steve has a quote here. And when I faced down the Balrog, I wasn't doing a commercial for Athlete's Foot Cream.
No, it was actually for Preparation H. I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down.
McKellen's comments are in direct contrast to how actors promote their films today. One need only look at a number of movies that came out this year, such as Barbie or Blue Beetle, or how Rachel Zegler is promoting Snow White. Actress Kate McKinnon explained that to Fandango ahead of the film's release that the script was about how, like, gender roles deny people half their humanity, and how, like, we need to just, like, be ourselves. And I think I'm losing a few brain cells reading this. And it's like a very powerful message. Oh, give it up. Like, shut up, man. I know she's not a man, but shut up.
Well, we don't know. Maybe maybe she went that page way now. We don't know.
Actor Simu Liu told Screen Rant, I'm so glad that this movie exists because I think it puts the final nail in the coffin of that very heteronormative idea of what gender is and what is or is not gendered. How can you make a color gendered? Oh, shut the fuck up. I know I've been cursing a lot tonight, but they bring it out of me.
Well, that's why you have that disclaimer.
Yeah, that's why I had the warning disclaimer before every live stream of Pop Talk. I don't do it in front of the games, but I do it in front of Pop Talk. He went on, over the course of this movie, I've been around, worn, played with more pink than I ever thought possible, and it was great. And it's so good to be free to express yourself in all of the ways you feel like you want to, and not to feel like because something is attributed to a certain gender or a certain idea that you can't also do that. That's, I think, what really struck me about being in this movie, what's evolved in my understanding of Barbie and what it is, and what I hope the audience will get from it when they watch the movie. And then it goes on to say he would later add, knowing that Greta is as just talented and intelligent of a storyteller as she is, you knew that she was going to create a story that was really fresh and exciting and subversive and self aware. And I think Margot, who also produced the movie, just championed that so perfectly. And then he goes on to say, you have to really watch this movie to understand this, but like it is a feat to have gotten Mattel on board with this movie. He elaborated because this movie really goes there and it attacks all the criticisms of Barbie in the past. It joins in on the conversation, and it's not just like a fluffy cash grabby sort of like look at us, we're fine. Isn't it though? I haven't seen the movie, but from what I've heard, it sure seems like it. It sure seems like it's a cash grab, cashing in on the Barbie name. Everything's perfect. There are some really scathing critiques of the idea of Barbie, what Barbie has been or is, and also some really scathing critiques on Mattel as well, which I love. But I think it really speaks to just how much everyone on board believed in the vision and the voice to the movie, that they were like, no, this conversation needs to happen, and Mattel needs to be in on this conversation. We need to be a part of it because that's the only way that we can move forward, Lou concluded. That's the only way that we can get the audience on board with the story that we want to tell. Looking at Blue Beetle actor Zolo, and I'm not even going to try pronouncing his last name, informed Empire. The goal was to create a movie for a young me and a young Angel Manuel Soto, the film's director, that said, "Hey, man, someone who looks like you or comes from a similar background can be a superhero." Yeah, it's all about self-identifying. You don't need the character to look like you, be like you, act like you. If the character is written well, everybody can see themselves in that character. So yeah, I'm not gonna read the rest of this because it's more looks like it's more quotes from more talking heads of Hollywood. But you know, hasn't it gotten very tiresome when you have current Hollywood preaching at you how things should be instead of just going in there, reading the script, practicing your lines, rehearsing your lines, and then filming your role and promoting the movie and to get people to spend their hard-earned money to go see your movie? No, all these actors, writers, directors, studio heads, they have to preach at you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, as I was saying before, I had my microphone off. I didn't realize that because the dogs were going out. But if they really they need a Mexican Iron Man. They should Mexican Iron Man movie. We need to be the next.
Well, yeah, I'd pay to
They really
see a
want
Mexican Iron Man movie.
Mhm.
I'm
I
not
would too.
kidding either.
No.
He also needs to defeat another person again who he did defeat a few years ago, but we won't say who that person is.
Yeah,
He can
just
be in the
last
movie
year.
too.
Just last year.
He can be in that
Mhm.
movie with him.
The main villain.
Excuse me.
Yep.
And I like what TCAP Steve is saying here. Like, OMG. Like, totes. Feel you there, girlfriend. For sure.
Give me a spoon, man.
Yeah. But yeah, Ian McKellen was right 20 years ago. It isn't his job as an actor to presume. It isn't his job as an actor to tell the audience what to think. His job as an actor, what he's getting paid for, is to be Gandalf or, say, Magneto or any other role he's played in movie or on stage, like Richard III.
Mm-hmm.
But too many actors nowadays want to preach to you and be activists instead of saying, "Yes, I'm promoting this movie." Pop Talk the movie. Yeah, it's about how Pop Talk itself came to be, and you know where it started from, where its middle point was, and where it's still going. We have someone playing Baron, we have someone playing Cash, we have someone playing me.
Yeah, the real life Peter Griffin will be playing me. I'll call that after the dark times begin.
Pop Talk, the dark times.
Mm-hmm. I'm playing Tacta. Or Starfield. Sorry.
Yeah. But
I'm
no,
so
what are you? Why are you doing a Picard? Come on, man. Come on, man.
Ian McKellen and him are good friends. That's why. I mean, I hope that Ian McKellen still's that way. I really hope so. Because like you said,
20 years later.
And we didn't think that Patrick Stewart was that way, but look what happened.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Some things about him, man.
Yeah, but
some things about Stewart.
Yeah, I mean, look what he did with with Picard. I mean, that was all how he wanted to go.
Yes.
Yeah, we all saw how that
I'm
turned out.
sorry. So very sorry.
I mean, a man that so many people looked up to, as a character, because that was their first Star Trek or their first new Star Trek.
Yep.
It's like, it's like, oh, Captain Picard, he's so neat, he's so cool. And then you start finding out what a dickless piece of whatever he is.
Well, that's why actors need to stick to the job they're being paid for, is acting.
Right.
Well, the thing is, even when they come out and say things, like usually it's just ignorant or it's lecturing people, they won't come out and say, you know what, this could actually help you, and I'm just throwing out advice or something. They won't do that. It always has to be a lecture, and you have to listen to me. Yeah. And a bunch of people are like, let's put them on a pedestal.
You're just ignorant. No, you're
ignorant. You ignorant.
Well, speaking of someone that goes on the attack, especially when he's attacked, and the both of you have had the honor of being on a panel with him.
Yes.
Yes. We have our second article from Bounding in the Comics, and it's by John F. Trent, and it was posted yesterday. It says, exclusive, get your first look at Chuck Dixon's second Conan the Barbarian novel, Caravan of the Damned. And the article starts off like this. Publisher Castella House and Bounding in the Comics are proud to share with you an exclusive first look at Chuck Dixon's upcoming second Conan the Barbarian novel, Caravan of the Damned. Caravan of the Damned sees Conan leading a large band of merciless bandits across the bone-dry wastelands of Zuagir, where he doesn't hesitate to attack even the most well-guarded caravans. In fact, Conan relishes the challenge, surmising that the greater the risk usually means the greater reward. However, some treasures might be too dangerous to keep Conan. A lesson Conan quickly realizes after his bandits ambush a royal Turanian caravan to court Hadrindor. Help me out, Aaron.
Hadrindor? Hadrindor?
That's how I pronounced it. Let's go with it. Let's go with it.
Yeah, that's the only way I can see it.
Not only will the book see Conan leading his bandits on raids through the wastelands of Zuagir, but hidden in the sands of the deepest desert are horrors too dreadful for even the most fearless barbarian to imagine. Phil McCracken?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Dixon,
he'll be scared of him.
Dixon, who is no stranger to writing Conan, having penned numerous stories for Marvel Comics in comic book form in Savage Sword of Conan, shared with Bounding in the Comics what readers can expect from the second novel. Caravan of the Damned is set in the time when Conan was a desert reaver. I wanted to challenge of writing a story that was an extended chase. It's unlike anything I've ever wrote for Savage Sword. Dixon elaborated, the fun for me is restricting myself to the vocabulary and writing form that Howard used. I don't want any jarring stylistic aneurysms.
Anachronism.
Not aneurysm. I know. As soon as I said, I knew I'd said it wrong. And I'm thinking to myself, why did I say aneurysms? Anachronisms. But it's bloopers. It's the 200th episode, and there's bloopers aplenty.
We need to have the show guest hosted by Ryan Roger Affe. It's like, I'm here for the celebration. This is your life, Mike PACIFIC414 with bloopers.
Okay, so it goes on to say to take the reader out of the story. If I've succeeded here, the story should read like it should have been perfectly at home in an issue of Weird Tales. Goes on to say Dixon previously made it a point to note he was trying to mimic Howard's prose style when he discussed the first novel, The Siege of the Black Citadel, with Bounding in the Comics. I was totally immersed in Howard's bravura writing style as an adolescent. I like the challenge of creating a new Conan story written in that style. He added, so much of Howard's prose relied on the reader to create vivid images in their own imaginations as they read. I really wanted to see if I could inspire that same brand of wild visuals. And it goes on to say readers are going to get some assistance in that department this time around as Caravan of the Damned features illustrations by Aidmere. In fact, Castilla House informs found in the comics that the second edition of The Siege of the Black Citadel, which will is already currently available in paperback, will soon be available in hardback. Features new illustrations as well as new cover artwork. An example of one of the illustrations for The Siege of the Black Citadel can be seen below. I like that art style.
I am not complaining at all.
Nope.
Yeah, I like it too.
Yeah, the shading, the detail.
Yeah, if you want to make your D&D characters, that's how you make the D&D characters look like in the books. Not the crap they're doing nowadays.
Mhm.
Really, honestly, I mean, and you got it right. And wait a moment, aren't they hypersexualizing? Oh no, they never sexualized any man in fantasy. No, never. I
Oh
mean,
no!
only the
Oh
women wore
no!
the
loincloth,
bikinis,
bikinis, and
loincloths. Yeah, they're the only ones that did. Crumb.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
It goes on to say it now to what you all been waiting for, the exclusive excerpt from Dixon's Caravan of the Damned. These were the wolves of Zuagir, bandits and worse. They sat waiting in the shadows cast by their ground-rind horses. Men in multi and soft-soled boots, some leaned on the halves of long lances, others busied themselves by restringing suimbos.
Sinew.
I know. That's another one I butchered, but that
Yeah, sorry.
I'm aware of it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
A few does heads lowered to rest on crossed arms, set atop their knees, a mixed band of cutthroats and thieves that were the sweepings of the fleshpots, the chaff of the hinterlands, the refuse of ports of all along the coast of Villayet Sea, fatherless scum, men of no tribe, men who found a purpose in banditry and a talent for slaughter. They came from every corner of the world. Hillmen of Drustin, I don't know, deserters from Truan, brigands out of Zamora and Corja. These were men with prices on their heads from across the southern kingdoms, emirates, Khanates. For better or ill, they were Conan's sword brothers and looked to him as their chieftain for as long as it suited him or them. The paperback and ebook of For Caravan of the Damned is expected to go on sale later this month in September. Both the hardcover of Caravan of the Damned and The Siege of the Black Citadel are expected to go on sale in October. The Siege of the Black Citadel paperback versions is currently on sale. You can grab the paperback version from Castella's store.
I
mean, even look at that artwork.
Yeah, that's. I mean, literally, the women have more clothes than him on. I mean, and they're slave girls.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that. That's.
Yeah, this is definitely something to pick up and check out.
This artwork is stuff that helped inspire D&D.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. I mean, this and others, but it's like, you think barbarian, you think of that.
Yeah.
Conan the Cimarron.
I like it. I like it a lot.
And and let's compare this actually to that dingbat with D&D, right? She's going out there basically with the women, her stupid, basically self-insertion, pseudo-documentary, biography, or whatever you want to call it, right? Here, Chuck Dixon's going, I am studying Howard so I can write his style, write his spirit into this. Notice the big two differences between it.
He's paying respect and homage to what the foundation of Conan, while the dingbat for D&D is inserting themselves into the story.
Yeah, and screwing that rich history that D&D had. Honestly, I mean, just hearing you read that there and reading as going along, it's like, yeah, that's definitely that style, because Howard was trying to get that that style of of a saga. That this came from a time long before us, and again, talent with Howard. Two gun Bob, as Lovecraft called him, and in good nature. You don't. It's so much self-insertion, and they put the anachronism into their stories nowadays because they don't have a concept of the era, the time, any of that. It's just about them basically playing dolly games, and now we're just now we're professionals.
It's all about me and
it's
only me.
Yay! Yeah, it is only me. Maybe Cash.
And anything you want to add, Baron? Well, Cash.
My wall's going to hit.
Baron needs to apologize in a second. He was about to say, "I'm sorry. I'm so very sorry.
I'm sorry. Very sorry." That's what I'm going to have to say to my wife when she asks, "Do you buy 2 more books?" I'm sorry. I'm so very sorry.
It looks really cool. There's a lot of stuff to read of Chuck Dixon, so I think I'm reading Robin Batgirl Part 1 or something right now. Looks so I'm going to continue that. I like the art. I like the artwork, just like the art we saw before. Man, there's nothing wrong with having attractive women and a buff-looking dude and whatever. Like Conan is supposed to be built. It's Conan. Yeah, I like the art.
Even if you have read Sonya, there's nothing wrong with her looking athletic and toned. And
exactly, because that's how the character was. But if it's not looking like Lizzo, it's like, then we have a problem.
Well, I don't hear much about Lizzo lately, so
she's in enough water anyway.
Oh yeah, that's right. Banana in the tailpipe. I forgot about that.
It's all wacky do. So yeah, it's just hey.
I forgot about that.
No, I like that art style.
At least it wasn't a flute.
Yeah,
true.
Oh yeah,
just
right.
but
I like that art style too.
The independent stuff. It's just better because people are caring more than what you're seeing with mainstream. Mostly, it's just just these stories are ridiculous. Most of them. I wouldn't want to buy a lot of these comics. the comics of the comments,
Yeah.
looking at the comments of the comics. But no, I think independent's way to go, and stuff like Chuck Dixon, especially what I've learned about him recently. Yeah, I think definitely buying his work is worth it.
Well,
Or
I mean, this is
reading
the
it.
difference between this is the difference between a fan who's in there writing and a fanboy / girl doing writing. A fan has immense knowledge, and are humbled when they're able to play in that sandbox, like Chuck Dixon is, because
Right.
and meanwhile the other ones, they're just they're so self-privileged. They think they are the ends all be all, and the world goes around them, and who cares about those that came before us? Obviously, it's not within my 15-year bubble of knowledge. It's got to be bad, because that's what my professors told me.
Well, I mean, just everything from what was that one about, like Captain America throws around a tin can or something, like that was a few years ago. I was like, what is this crap? What is this nonsense? And then we got to know about his sexuality, and we got to know this. And then also in the comics now, they're making people like Miles Morales more important than Peter Parker. It happened. Jason and I have talked about it before. It happened. It's ridiculous. I'm like, what? Yeah, whatever. I just as I said, we'll always tell you guys, there's so much things out there easy to mock. They do it to themselves. So mainstream comics are definitely usually easy to mock. I mean, we could sit around and start reading I Am Not Starfire and laugh our ass off. So
Yeah. Well, that's right. Cash wasn't here when I showed this one up, but it goes right down to exactly many of our opinion about what's going on. And just a second here. Nope. I'll have to do this. Yeah. I mean, that explains it right there.
Yeah.
Right there. That's their attitude.
Yes.
And we're not necessarily bemoaning, we're laughing. They sit back and say that, I posted that in a channel making, one of the SAG sites, and they go, "Oh, what's the matter? You butthurt much?" It's like, do any of those guys look like they're butthurt? No, we're enjoying the show. You're the one that's butthurt. We don't think you're as freaking important as you think you are.
No, they have their own self-importance where they think everybody who isn't in Hollywood is going to cow down to them. No, we're not going to cow down to you.
No, they expect us to have Stockholm syndrome. And it's like, no, no.
Oh, did you trigger some people, Baron?
Reading that article from Hollywood Reporter, where it comes to find out that the 70% that supported the writers and actors strike was only out of 1,000 people. What kind of poll is that?
Yeah, right, exactly. And I know for a fact it's not 70% supporting, but they're supporting the strike, and then that's supporting the strikers, which is two different things. They're gonna get proven fast here that they're not as important as they think they are.
That's right.
They bit off more than they can chew. I mean, with what the actors, and I can understand some of the gripes that they have on some stuff. Don't get me wrong, but overall, plus the fact that most of this also is to try to stand in solidarity with the writers, who is anybody really impressed with a lot of the writing that we have nowadays? Honestly,
I'm not.
And when their demand is that you have to have 5 to 10 writers a season. Depends on the length of the season. Guaranteed, you have to have that many. Which of course knocks out the fact that when you have a writing team of maybe 2 or 3, or in the case of Babylon 5, 1, for most of the series. I mean, all that is, and anybody can see it. It's just basically trying to get job security, and that's all it is. It's trying to get the higher written, and I can't remember if it's
and there's nothing wrong with getting job security, but when you have 10 people writing the series and the story is incoherent and it doesn't follow the beats of the last story, especially if they're trying to do serialized television, then you don't need 10 people writing the same freaking episode over and over again.
Well, it really worked out for Disney's sequel trilogy, right? That wasn't discombobulated at all. I mean, it was.
Oh
was
no,
seamless,
not at
wasn't it?
all. Not at all. I mean, everybody loves the sequel trilogy. Nobody says any bad things about any of those 3 movies.
And if you want to have job security, and to paraphrase Harlan Ellison, don't suck writing.
Mm-hmm.
Be a good writer. You be a good writer, they'll want you. Well, only so many are going to be writers. Well, so many become main actors. Only so many become directors. You can't hold those same standards. It's the ones that, well, they don't deserve it. Well, maybe they didn't. Maybe they got a lucky break that no one else did. But you know something? Steven Spielberg is remembered because at one time he was a great director. Scorsese, De Palma, Alfred Hitchcock, Orson Welles. I mean, all across the board. The reason why they did the job, their job security was they were good.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it goes with writers. Why did this person was able to write so many shows? Why was Cannell, doing all these shows? Stephen J. Cannell and all those Emmys. Well, he's a good writer, good idea man. He was, he gave us, great shows all the way across the board from, Magnum PI, Rockford Files, and anything that had at the end with the C, and each he got more and more awards on his shelf behind him. Why? Because he's good, or he was. Rest his soul. Yeah, you got some people going there, and definitely it's like, why did you get successful? But there's always the case, no matter where you are, no matter what industry, no matter what job, is like, well, why did that person get promoted? He's a schmuck. Why isn't the guy been fired yet? You're always going to have that, but just like any employment, you're not going to be guaranteed. You can't hold someone to that standard of 5 to 10 a season. Depends on the length of the season and such. Right? You can't hold it because you can't do the same thing with actors. You can't do the same thing with directors. You can't do the same thing with writers. You can't do the same. I want to talk about right. Sorry, you can't say the same thing about even producers.
I mean, you work at a job, and maybe there are 2 other people in your same position, and the company's cutting back. They're going to evaluate you and the other 2 people and decide, okay, who do we keep? Who do we let go?
Yeah, I mean, how many times did the TV show drop somebody? You saw them so much, and then they were dropped out of the series and never heard from again, because essentially it was a superfluous character. Because the character wasn't providing anything, or the character and another character were just so much alike, we can just get rid of the one and give the other lines to the other person because it's basically a clone.
I think about Family Matters. You had the Winslow family. You had Eddie. You had Laura. You had Judy. You had Mother Winslow and Rachel. Eventually, Judy left the show. You didn't see Judy anymore. Mother Winslow, I think she left the show and then eventually passed away. And then Rachel left, and even Richie left. It's because they narrowed it down to just a few characters.
It gets pared down organically, anyways. I mean, do people remember Richie Cunningham's older brother?
No.
Played by 2 actors? Yeah. Played by 2 actors. The one went on to hunt down Willow. So it's like, there's that character. Then you have a character that's basically a throwaway character like Arthur Fonzarelli, and he becomes the biggest thing for the show. And all he was a throwaway character.
Yeah. He was supposed to just be a one and done character, and instead he becomes the most popular character who even jumped the shark. Literally.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, exactly. Well, remember, Roman Reigns disappeared
Mm-hmm.
for various reasons. Basically, the official reason was they wanted to have Kirk able to wine and dine across the galaxy, and there's other stuff, behind the scenes. But still, 16 episodes, I think, and gone.
Mm-hmm.
Just like any industry, this is the job security, and sometimes again, it's not fair. Even when you're doing the best job and you're doing the job better than somebody else, you might get cut for BS reasons. Welcome to the real world. You can't have those standards, not at all. And if you want us to be sympathetic to you guys out there, quit calling us toxic, quit calling us bigots and other ists and phobes, because we have a disagreement with how you brought something forward. Quit insulting us. You just you want to insult us and you want us to go out of our way for you and praise you. No, I don't like getting abused. Give those monkeys a knife, and I don't care if both of them end up laying on the ground. We have enough media as it is, and you're going to be out of a job. They are seriously looking at AI for a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean I agree with it. Not at all. But just like the reality shows proved, 12, 15 years ago when they had the other strike, how superfluous you are. They'll find a new way to entertain the masses with bread and circuses.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you're destroying yourself, and you have not given any of us a reason to be sympathetic.
No, why should we, when we as fans have been attacked for not going to see a movie, and even when we go to see a movie, we go on platforms like YouTube, Rumble, wherever, and we say why we didn't like it. Well, guess what, Hollywood? You all stepped into the business where you know that any television show, any movie is going to be critiqued by professional critics and those of us here on YouTube.
Right.
We live in a new day and age as far as entertainment is concerned, where it's not exclusive to those in Hollywood creating the entertainment. Look at Crit's revitalized Star Wars series, where Crit has taken 3 sequel movies for Star Wars and created his own story around it. And look at how much better those stories are compared to what we actually got. Because Crit actually cares about the universe. And it shows. And, to take all that time to not only write the script, but also have people record voice lines and then put everything together using different software to get it all flowing together nice and smoothly. That takes a lot of time and a lot of effort.
Look at Kali and Manana with their respective Star Trek series that they did. 100% pure love. That's why they're so good. Look at there's like the Batman, 86 or whatever, where the Punisher and Batman are together in the story. Again, Judge Minty. I mean, look at what these people are doing. And they obviously don't have huge budgets because this is a labor of love and it's fans, and many of these people are wearing their costumes for this. And look how well the costumes look, in many ways, a lot better than what we're seeing on the screen with these characters.
Yeah.
The love, the passion, the even the props. How can they get it right and you get it wrong?
It's because fans care about it more. Fans, pay more attention to the small, minute details.
Well, I think what's even more important is they know what made the story popular and has endeared itself to the millions out there. And dare I say, maybe even let's go in the billions. I mean, for all we know, there are 1 billion plus Star Trek fans out there.
Yeah,
And
but there's also but there's also fans out there who, you know, are adding to this, and also people who say that they're fans and then they get hired and they don't care about the little details, and they're more interested in the genders and the other agenda nonsense, and you can even go on other CW shows, like they had some good ideas and they just squander them because they're so obsessed with their stupid agenda and other garbage. And so not all the fans, but I think yes, there are a number of fans that still care.
But the thing, but I qualified it. They're the fanboys / fangirls. They're the sycophants. They're the ones that have to put themselves into it. They're the ones that are like that dingbat with the Book of Many Things. The self-insertion crowd. They're not real fans. They're fanboy fangirls doing fan fiction. Fanboy fangirl fiction, I should say. Because there's some damn good fan fiction out there.
Yeah, there is some good, but there's some other stuff that is just ridiculous. Like, people can tell me 100 times that something like fan fiction that I know a number of people unfortunately want it to become reality, but Nintendo's not going to do it. Link is not going to turn gay. Zelda is not going to turn trans. And you want to write that, whoopee-doo, it's still fan fiction. Yeah.
Well, it's not proper fan fiction. Again, it's self-insertion narcissism. That's what it is, because they're not being truthful to what they claim they're fans of.
Right.
These are the deluded ones that even true fans were making fun of, living in the basement. No, they live in Mama's basement. They know how to speak Klingon better than they can speak English. Sitting in beanbag chairs.
I can't do either.
Watching Star Trek. Yeah. That's the thing, and that's the difference between, of course, the true fans that do this. If a true fan goes out there and does, quote unquote, true fan that goes out there and makes the pablum crap, they're not true fans. They have no respect for the base of the legend that they propose. They tell us that they are fans of.
That's why I think a lot of these. You go ahead. Yeah, exactly. I agree. That's why I just don't want to be a part of a lot of these anime communities or other groups, because once you say something, no, I don't like that. They want to kick you. Oh, how dare you? Are you this, and or that they want all their characters to be gay and this and that.
Right.
And it doesn't really. That's what they're so important. They feel that's what's important. It's ridiculous. And it's just like, well, how does this add to the story that these characters are gay or trans or even straight? How does this add to the story?
Story?
Yeah, exactly. Story.
Wait, Cash, you want a story in there?
Of course not, man. I want characters in My Hero that have no reason to be gay at all to be gay because of some fan fiction, ridiculous stuff. For example.
Yeah. Well, that's just it. I mean, they're talking. I don't know if it came to fruition about Kirk and Spock getting it on. And again, that came from 70s and 80s fangirl sycophant. For some reason, the thought of two. When girls sit back and say about guys liking, getting excited about two women getting it on, that fan fiction proves that it also goes the other way for some reason, that girls love the thought of two guys going at it. And now they want to bring that fan fiction crap into quote unquote canon.
Right.
I mean, we have to be 100%. We have to make sure the quotes are there.
Of course. We want to appease a certain demographic or certain groups and certain beliefs.
And the thing is, it's not even that anymore, really. It's all about them, and they take personal affront because you don't like it. So that's why you're an It's-N-A-phobe, because they view it as a personal attack on them.
Yep. That's what it has to be. Yeah, it has to be.
They're not even necessarily writing for the choir. The choir is just glomming onto it they're writing for themselves.
Yeah.
And not in the good way. Not in the good way. I mean, and that's just it. And of course, the others glom on. It's like, I'm just like that too, because we're all demi-queer pander, she XYZ, whatever they want to sit back and start, going all across the board.
Yes, they do.
That's all. They don't care about anything other than that. Their own narcissism.
That's all they care about, man. I was like, it was nice to hear some fan fiction recently. I was in another Discord and they were talking about how Zelda has night terrors and what Link is dealing with, that she died and she might die again, or she's dead now. And Link's, I'm like, that's so cool, man. That's the kind of stuff I appreciate, because when I hear fan fiction, usually I'm like, oh no, is this some characters have to be in this relation? They're not. It doesn't make sense to and people can do that all they want, but they're obsessed with it. And it's just like, that's why I want to stay away from a lot of those fan fiction groups, because they get too weird for me. And I'm like, nope, not for me. They're not all like that, I'm sure, but I just have this feeling the majority are. Yeah.
Yeah, it frightened me away from any of that, to be honest with you. Either contributing, which I'm not that good at, or reading, because it's like the quality was dubious in the day. It's even worse now. And it's like, why do I want to waste my time with this garbage? It's
exactly,
a million monkeys
that's
and a room with a million typewriters.
You read it, you try to watch it, and you're just turned off by a lot of what's being presented.
Right.
Yes.
Exactly. It's like, why? And then, like I said, then they take personal offense because they view it as a personal attack on them.
Yes.
And it's like, well, I didn't know that. I really don't care. It's like, I never thought it was a personal attack on you. I mean, in the professional world, look how great Gene Roddenberry's fanfic was in the form of Weasley Crusher.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
that's a self-insert.
Yeah, I mean, right there, that is a true, fan fiction, your own work. And look how great that character turned out. Mouse sighting.
Yep.
Yes, he says, look at my tail, my fluffy tail. Mm-hmm. He's all, good, you got a camera. Now I could be on the shows again.
Mm-hmm. Well, right now he's going for his food dish. The one I'm keeping away from El Diablo Gato. But yeah, I mean, even when it comes around the professional world, when someone does that, it's like, thanks for nothing, Gene.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I'm going to talk a little bit about that on Friday. Nothing bad, but just a dichotomy thing. So
okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, gentlemen, we still have 30 minutes of the show left. If there's anything that you want to talk about, go ahead. Talk about it.
Starfield. Starfield. Starfield.
You say Starfield.
Yeah, Starfield. I mean, like I said, somebody made a board.
Today is a good day to Starfield.
Kapla. I mean, everyone else is talking about. We might as well. I mean, what the hell? Since it went hot for everybody yesterday.
It's it's the pronouns thing is a hot topic. We just don't. It's gonna happen with things. Unfortunately, did it need to be in there? No. Is there need to be any pandering there? No. Does there need to be any pandering in Forza Horizon 5? No. Go down the list. It's stupid, but they do it anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So wait for a mod. Wait for a mod.
Just so everybody knows, tomorrow when I create my character, I am going to make a joke because, the pronoun thing, well, I can't put my favorite pronoun in there. Klingon.
I guess Crit is asking us a question. So, yeah.
What?
Crit's asking us a question.
Oh, well, One Piece, I think I only saw 2 or 3. I didn't see the first episode.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'll let someone who's seen the first episode, I can pick up after that. my opinion.
all right.
Review of it.
You want my review? As someone who has only seen one episode of the anime and has skipped any other live action adaptations of an anime, mainly Cowboy Bebop, I think the
Flip-flop.
series is pretty good. I think it's entertaining. From what I'd seen in that one episode of the anime, I think it holds true to the characters, and from what you have shown me, Crit, I think they're doing a pretty decent job at adapting what that anime world has developed and put it into live action in just 4 episodes that I've seen so far. So kudos to them. And the special effects, I don't know what the budget is. I heard you say at one point it was 100 million per episode or somewhere around those figures. The special effects are very good.
Yeah.
The acting quality, it's not horrible. That's for sure.
No,
you actually believe that these actors and actresses are the characters.
Right. I mean, they're over the top a little, but then the characters I've seen in the anime are over the top as well.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's fun about it. There's nothing wrong with it. That's what adds to the charm.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like the fact that, in the anime, Monkey D. Luffy is screaming a lot, but in live action it doesn't work, and I'm glad they don't do that. I like these crazy pirates. I know they changed a few things, but
yeah.
Right, exactly. T-gap.
and like Crit said there, what they did for a change really didn't matter. In fact, in some ways, it made it a little better to be acting, including right down to the fight. I mean, even the fight wasn't the same. Which was great about watching it with Crit, as I said earlier, because he could fill you in on stuff and differences and how it was it was still respectful or whatnot in there.
Yep.
And I agree. The fight was better in the live action than the anime one, and that's not to take away from the animated one. Because they're two different creatures.
Yep, exactly. And I think it's, I don't know, it's just even people that I just think it's unfair when people are saying like this CGI is bad. I mean, you want to feel that way, that's fine. I don't. This show is enjoyable. We got laughs out of it. And if you're a fan of pirates, why wouldn't you like One Piece? Even though it gets crazy. That's right.
Right. As it goes.
The devil fruit, I think, is. Yep. Go ahead.
I said, you and me, we can attest to the fact that we like pirates, or being pirates around here.
That's right. So I am enjoying this show, and I enjoyed the anime, but I'm not a massive fan like Crit is, but I'm enjoying it. The 4 episodes we've seen, and then I know we'll watch the rest another day, and there's only like 4 left. So that's right, T-gap.
Yeah.
I know, and so are you, Phil. So are you, Phil.
This is the first I really experienced One Piece with this here. I have to admit. And I do like this live action one. I mean, just like we're sitting back saying, they kept the one female character like the anime because instead of making her a stick, she has a figure.
She does,
and they weren't afraid to do that. And the character plays like the character in the anime.
Although what we had also seen is they had a promotional poster for the actress as Nami, and
they did.
They photoshopped away her bosoms.
Yep, they did, which is insulting, man. It's insulting.
Yeah, it is insulting. It's insulting to women. It's insulting to the actress.
Yes, it is.
Very much to the actress.
Yeah,
and Crit is saying, I know Cash has seen the first quarter of One Piece. Would Baron and Mike consider watching the anime after live action? At some point,
Mm-hmm.
At some point, I would. I don't know if I would commit to it right now, but at some point in the future, I would definitely consider sitting down and taking it in slowly. I don't want to be, inundated, overwhelmed with the show because the anime has over 1,000 episodes. So, it'd be like going to a buffet and just throwing everything on your plate, and then by the time you eat at least some of it, you're already full, and there's still so much left that you're wasting. But I would consider watching the anime. But again, I don't want to do it all in one fell swoop. Watch a little bit here, watch a little bit there.
Yeah, because they have that One Piece channel now on Pluto, so I was watching a little bit. Of course, I think I said this. I can't remember if I said this before we went on air or after, but it's the subtitled one that they have on the Pluto. But I was watching a little bit of that. It's like, yeah, it looked like they did a good job. Translation.
Mm-hmm. And I like what Phil says here. What kind of movies do pirates like? R. R-rated movies.
Elon likes.
R.
We know that Elon likes X.
And Crit makes a good point. They are afraid of femininity. They can't handle how hot of an actress they chose.
Yeah, I mean the media once again is a lot of them are being unfair. And look, if you don't like this show, fine. But you enjoyed the anime, but you say like the CGI is bad and this and that. Okay, but whatever. If you want to believe, that's fine. But the media and some of the articles they're coming out with, and I'm gonna definitely attack IGN and some of the other ones. They're ridiculous. They're just ridiculous that anybody would say that this is better. Saying the Cowboy Bebop is live action is better than One Piece. What I think pisses them off the most, this is just a guess. It doesn't have a certain agenda that they want. It doesn't have characters that are also probably gay. It doesn't have certain romances that they want. I'm just feeling like that's probably what's going on. And so they have to attack it. It's the same thing, like however you feel about the Mario movie. Some people had to attack it, and it's like, okay, you want to go on the attack? Well, here is my criticism of your article and how stupid it is. It's dumb. It's dumb for IGN to say that. And I watched some of those episodes of Cowboy Bebop live action. It was pretty awful, and it got awful because of Faye Valentine. And I don't care what anybody says about how the hardcore anime fans are to blame for this. No, who's to blame for this is Netflix. That's right.
Yeah,
they're mainly to blame for this.
They turned an enjoyable character into something that was unwatchable.
Yes. Who says the word fuck and mostly fuck, and it is like, I'm a lesbian too, and like we're taking the, and even when the creator saw this and said basically, what in the hell is this? that right there is a sign. But they don't care, and the media is just like, this is what we want, this is what we've always want. Like it's like it's stupid, and they should be ashamed of themselves for a show like Cowboy Bebop that got canceled after a season, where One Piece made a lot of fans happy. Fine, some people don't like it, fine. But it made the majority of the fans like Crit and other people very happy, including his father. That has to be a win. And that has to get a second season on Netflix. It just has to.
Yeah.
It just
I'm sure it will. I'm sure it will. I mean, it's getting the views. It's doing what Ahsoka's not doing, despite what they want to try to tell you.
Right, but a lot of people did enjoy. Right, but a lot of people did enjoy this last episode. But still, is it going to continue in that direction? Is it going to make people happy? One Piece has made the majority of fans that like the anime happy. That has to be a win. But to the media, who likes to always skew everything because they are, this is my opinion. Well, cool. This is also my opinion. I think most of the time you need to stop being shit with your articles and stop being ridiculous.
Well, it comes down to the thing. It's like, yeah, you might not have liked it, but is it true to the source, and is someone that likes the source
Exactly.
going to like it? And
Exactly.
that's where you
Yep.
need to divorce yourself from your narcissism. When people go out there and and become critics or critiquing, they're thinking far too much of themselves, far
Yes,
too
they
much of
are.
themselves. And it's not being a proper critic is not easy. Sometimes it's a shame that they have such a fast time that they have to write a review because you don't get necessarily a chance to digest what you saw and understand. Why would this be something that someone didn't like? Well, they didn't have time for that. They just kind of, we saw the movie, ran home, did our review, and they got in the next day. And yeah, and it takes, it's being bad.
Yeah. That's now considered bad because, and once again, I will continue to point out the same thing I've pointed out before because it doesn't seem to change. Is it because there's not a certain agenda in there for IGN and some of these other media sites that pisses them off? They need that agenda.
Right.
They have to have it. It's ridiculous. And I would love to ask them. I says, IGN, tell us, is it because there's a certain agenda that's not in One Piece that is pissing you off about the show and you want to give it lower ratings? Is that why? I wouldn't be surprised if it is.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it's got to hurt. How dare you keep to the thing that made it popular?
Exactly.
You're going to tell me that you're going to do better? You might be able to do a better job presenting it on a screen than the person who does the manga because they're two different forms of art.
Mm-hmm.
But just like he's going to do a better job manga than you would do if you try to do it in manga. Two different approaches, two different styles. You can get away with sometimes more on the page, but again, and they want to sit back and complain about the CGI, like Lucasfilm's been knocking it out of the park lately with Obi-Weenie and even the Mando, and they don't seem to be doing a good job either. I mean, they're doing a far worse job. I'm more impressed with this One Piece than I'm with Lucasfilm. ILM's becoming a joke.
Right. I
heaven forbid. I mean, you talk.
But is that a high
ILM,
bar, as somebody said before to me? Is that a high bar? I said, well, no.
Well, the time that was a high
put
bar.
more money into your show. I mean, if you watch Andor, however you feel about it, there's a budget there, and it's definitely over 100 million. Something around there, maybe a little less, but it looks like they actually put money into the show. Yeah.
The thing is, it's not necessarily even money.
No.
It's how creative you can be with it.
Exactly, man. Look at the old 60s Batman show. You think that was a big budget? No. Especially for that time, but they did a lot of cool stuff with it.
Right. I mean, sometimes you do the best job with limitations.
Yes.
And severe
I
limitations.
agree, man.
Because it makes you more creative. And by doing so, you get a shot that you might not have even thought of. And it looks a lot more fantastic. I think that's something, too, that someone might get offended by, that an accidental shot turns out better than one that they planned. Well, that's art. That's art. In true art, things don't necessarily go the way you planned. Just look at Babylon 5. It didn't go the way JMS planned.
Right.
I mean, the beginning and the end, but the stuff in between, he had to do a lot of changes on.
Right.
Things just don't go by the plan.
No, they don't.
And then you think about the physical models being used, and how we hide the cables, or how we hide the armatures that's holding the model. How we're going to film this right to get the best beauty shot possible. That's art. That's a lot of work. Just looking what they did with Star Trek Next Generation, and say, we do about 7 passes with the Enterprise, because we have the matte shot, and then we have the the ship, the beauty, the lights, all that fun stuff, and it's a lot of work. And I think people with CGI, a lot of them gotten lazy, and it's shown over the ILM.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
One Piece.
I agree.
One Piece. It looks good, especially the physical sets. Oh my word, beautiful.
Yes.
It's not just the special effects; it's that stuff too. Do you have the look and the feel of the world? Because the world is just as much of a character as anybody else. Gotham City, Batman '89. I mean, that looked and felt like Gotham City.
Yeah, it did.
As it should have.
As it should have.
Right.
I agree.
Exactly. And sometimes people forget that, or they have their own interpretation. It's like, no. Let's go back to how it was and try to be close to the source material. We're not telling you to be a slave to be exactly like it, but remember the source material and be respectful to it.
Yep. Very true.
Because that's where you can get great expansions on stories.
Yes.
With that. And again, you're limited. You're limited, so you gotta be more creative.
Mm-hmm.
Carte blanche. Anybody want dogs? Long suffering must be home.
No, thank you.
Now you're trying to get rid of your dogs?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. The long suffering is home, so the doggies have to make a bunch of ruckus. If you're not respectful, just stay away from
Mommy's home. Mommy's home.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. We get milk bones now. Oh, you came back fast, honey. She's mad at the long suffering now. She's gone back to work. It's like, you're not home anymore for me to sit on you. I don't like you no more. She's hurt. Animals.
And animals, people, and their feelings.
Cash monies.
Yeah. I mean, do we really care about Cash's feelings? Really?
No. Do I care about Mike's feelings and Baron? Sometimes.
you better on the damn host.
Yeah. You should be more caring about yours than mine.
Hilarious.
200 episodes of this, folks. How did we make it? I've only been on about 100 of them. Did I come around about the 100th?
I'll have to go back through the playlist and see, but
the arc.
I mean, considering I've done 5 seasons of the box score, yeah, I haven't done anything box score related since May. But at this point, do I bring the box score back on to this channel? And I've been thinking, no, I don't bring it back onto this channel. I'll keep all the episodes that are already on this channel on there, all 5 seasons. But if I bring the box score back, which I want to bring it back, it'll be on PACIFIC414 and so much more. But it takes a lot of commitment to do a live stream each and every week. And some people do it once a week. That works for them. Some people do it 5 days a week. That works for them. But it does take a lot of commitment, and especially being someone who, like everybody who is watching this or who has watched this in the past, is invested in properties like Star Wars and Star Trek and cares about what's going on in Doctor Who and what's going on in comics in these industries as a whole, and wants to voice their opinion on why they think it's wrong for the actors to promote films the way they do now, or why this movie isn't that great after seeing it. Well, that takes a lot of commitment.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to do a opening that just came to me. I've never done one of these.
Okay. Hold on.
Oh, actually, I have done something like this before, but first time here. I got here. Hey, I got my Judge Dredd novel. It's like, ooh,
sweet.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm trying to find these that they did back in the 90s or with Cursorious Asylum. So these are pretty good. This one came from Britain. It's got a 2 pound on the back. These books were pretty much like in Britain, but then they had some that come here. But Book Barn Books, 2 pounds. Oh,
Very nice.
But yeah, it's a little beat up, but it's kind of hard to get these books. So the Judge Dredd,
Very nice. And
something pretty good.
Crit says the strike might be a blessing. I think it is. I said it on another live stream before that we are the future Hollywood. All of us content creators, whether you create content on Rumble, on YouTube, on Kick, on Twitch, wherever that streaming platform happens to be, we are the new Hollywood. And there's going to be content that we make that people like, and then there's going to be content that we make that people don't particularly care for.
Right. And it doesn't mean that the person that though they're bad. It's just not, just like everybody's tastes are different. Some people like cop dramas. Some people like lawyer dramas. Some people only like comedies. It's just that type of thing. It's particular tastes. So, when we say something like that, it's not to be critical of someone that might not be our cup of tea. But yeah, well, we're going to start seeing that get weeded down. It's starting. It's starting. It really is. I mean, when Paramount started letting some of their exclusive library out, the same with Disney. I think this is now negotiating. Who do we want to pair up with now? Who do we want to have our library, and what's the best deal we can get out of it? Disney Plus is not going to be around.
No, I don't think it's going to be around too much longer. Maybe next year? Maybe 2 more years.
Yeah, 2 years at the most.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what article is that, Crit?
Yeah.
Because I don't have Discord on right now, because before I went live, Discord was going off because folks were messaging back and forth, and I didn't want to have to hear that during the live stream.
I'm just kind of taking a look there. I don't really see anything new in there. Something about a messenger promotion. I don't know what that is.
Well, that was the game I was playing last night.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Something about a 200th episode or something. Something about 200th episode. Sorry, Credit. I don't see it myself. There, I got to update.
Here, I'll open up Discord just in case he.
Maybe he sent you a super secret private message. Sneaky little orca that he is. Sneaky orca.
He's a sneaky snake.
Okay, he put it somewhere. Okay. He gave it to me. Okay, let's take a look. Warner Brother Television has been top overall deals with Greg Berlin. Okay, well, if you want, I can let me call this thing.
Go ahead and bring it up.
I'll bring it up. Just a memento here. Notice the fancy wording that I have. I got share screen. There we go. Sure. I hope this is the one you're talking about, Crit. That's the one that you sent me. This is from Deadline. Let's see. Breaking suspense over. Yeah, breaking news of Warner Brothers Television suspends top overall deal with Greg Berlanti, Bill Lawrence, Mindy Kaling, and more. That's what you must be talking about with Velma. This is brought to us by Nelly Andrieva. I hope I said that right. And it's dated the 6th, which is today. And look at those happy, smiling faces. Particularly that one right there. That's pretty. So, more than 3 months into the writer's... Wow. 3 months already. I thought it was like 2. Okay. Warner Brothers Television has moved in to suspend the remaining overall deals with some of its top creators. The list includes Greg Berlanti Productions, Bill Lawrence's Doozer Productions, John Wells Production, and Mindy Kaling's Kaling International. Sources said, I hear the calls were made last night. J.J. Abrams, Horrible Robot, also is in the process of being notified, and Chuck Lorre Productions, PAC, that has been previously suspended, I hear. The development comes exactly 3 months after the WB-TV and other studios started sending out letters to writers, producers under the overall and first look agreement who don't have series in production or post-production, informing them that their deals are being suspended. This is called Two Can Play That Game. It is understood that at the time, WB-TV did not suspend some of his top talent, especially those who had active projects. That is happening now. See, you can see me as I'm doing this reading here. Isn't that nice? For most of the top showrunners at WB-TV and other studios and streamers, the arrangements are believed to be of a suspend and extend nature, meaning that they will get the time of the suspension added to the end of their term. The concern is more for the lower and mid-level packs, which may lapse by the end of the strike. Unlike the 2007-2008 WGA strike, there have not been overall deal terminations, force majeure or whatever, I'm not horrible yet. And with studios opting to stick with suspensions where they don't have to pay for the duration of the work stoppage. Some of the reason lie in the fact that studios had already pared down their rosters in the past year or so. What do you mean am I awake? I'm reading a story. So there we are. That's from Deadline. I think old Crit's right. Vilma, which didn't get hardly any good press. I mean, the Suckle Fence, yeah, but I mean, the ratings and such. Might as well kiss it goodbye. Why should they waste money on that?
I mean, that's all these studios do is waste money, and if you can suspend a contract, since there's no work being done on those shows that those production companies are contracted to produce, then do it.
I mean,
they've already delayed movies that were supposed to come out, so might as well delay contracts too.
Right. I mean, things have changed since 2007/8. In that short a time, streaming platforms, how people present has changed dramatically. And you're starting to find yourself more and more superfluous Hollywood in a lot of this. And yeah, these individual sites might not be getting the huge numbers that you get for your ratings for one show, but these are spread out over how many channels that you have on YouTube?
A lot.
The thing is, it's not one of the streamers is getting all of that. It's just that amount of people are leaving you for this. Whether they want to watch, us talking heads out there pontificating our quote unquote wisdom, whether it's here with Pop Talk or live 20 the Primetime Kings of live stream, or Gary or EBN or even Doomcock, or if they're wanting to watch fan films, if they're wanting to watch original stuff like at Dust, it's there. You want to watch live cams or people walking through cities. You get sometimes a lot more. What would you say? Information, or you feel you come away with a little bit more because it's unfiltered. It's a guy walking down the street and you're seeing the world around. No messages, no pretenses. You're immersed in it. And that's what they're saying we all want. We want to have full immersion. Well, might as well put the VR helmet on while you're watching it next time.
Yep.
I'm not being sarcastic about that.
I know you're not, and Anonymous, I know you weren't here at the beginning, but I did say at the beginning of the show that tonight, with it being the 200th episode, we were going 3 hours, so there wasn't going to be an exclusive hour on Rumble tonight, at least.
Oh, and I have to address one other thing there. Notice what he said, so I have to bring this up Do not be rude to fellow panelists or those in the chat. Calling
Yeah,
us
Phil.
chumps.
Huh? Huh,
Yeah, you
Philly
too,
boy?
Phil.
Yeah.
Phil,
That's
read
right.
that, Phil.
Here, hold on. Let me get the banner down.
Okay. There you go, Phil and Anonymous. Right there. See that? Because there you go. There's your strikes.
Just remember, Anonymous, that Phil might try to hump your leg, dude. So you're gonna have to shake him off.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Get the spray bottle, huh? And
Get the spray bottle, definitely.
And this will be the only time you two are going to be the only ones where I get to be able to do this as well. Yeah.
But yes, yeah, we're still on, but I think now's a good time to wrap it up because we are at the 3-hour mark.
And my butt hurts.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry that your butt hurt, but
yeah, sorry about
that's
that.
life.
Just don't sit on your cat, man. Okay, it'll be fine.
No, it's 7 hours of Starfield and then 3 hours of this. I mean,
hey, no complaints, man. No
Hey,
complaints. Come on,
come
on.
Hey,
no complaints.
hey,
No complaints.
Hey,
You chose to play 7 hours of Starfield.
Yeah.
I want to hear it. I want to hear it.
It called to me. It called
did
to
it
me.
call to you?
I have to go play Starfield.
I don't want to hear the excuses.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Since we are at the 3-hour mark, I know someone's gonna say you're at the 3-hour 1 minute mark, Mike. Whatever.
Yeah.
We are gonna start wrapping up here.
No.
I do want to thank Cash and Baron for being here. I also want to take the time to go ahead and thank Phil McCracken for being here.
Yeah. He'll blame me for everything. Take your pills, Philly boy. Take your pills.
He always does.
Phil accused you of being the top and me the bottom, so I had to switch us around. See,
yeah.
he was accusing her. There's, I don't know.
Ridiculous.
Oops.
I want to thank Blazerhawk Darren for being here. Phantomology for being here.
Who's that?
Old man. That's Paul. That's Paul. Who will be our guest next Wednesday?
I don't know. I heard of Phantom Legacy, but I don't know about this Phantomology thing. Do you, Baron? It's weird. Okay. I guess.
I don't know. Something.
Old man, thank you for being here. Decepticons Cave of Comics and Toys. Thank you for being here. Brandon Looney Tunes Fan 2000. Thank you for being here. Jet Sparks. Thank you for being here. The angriest of Canadians. Angry Canadian. Thank you for being here.
I'm going to hurt you, eh?
What's that all about?
Yeah.
George Lucas. Thank you for being here.
2 billion. You'll be 2 billion ahead.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Crit, thank you for being here. Anonymous. And yes, it's the 200th episode. I'm playing
Anonymous. Anonymous. Anonymous.
Yeah. Yeah, you should apologize, Anonymous. Go sit in the corner, Anonymous.
Kitty Bear, thank you for being here. The Padawannabe, and this goes out to all members. Thank you for being here. And remember, members, 3 p.m. Eastern, Saturday will be the second member stream. So be there or be square. Same goes to you, T-Gap Steve. And we also had a new user stop by, El Pinche. Thank you for stopping by. Hope you liked what you saw. And let me catch up on the comments here before I tell you guys to promote yourselves. And Anonymous says, Dan, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to call you chumps. Chumps is a mean word only reserved for chumps. So I shouldn't be calling you chumps. Chumps. My apologies. Ha ha ha. Finding guy. We got a wise guy here. Speaking of wise guys, hey, Cash Money, what do you got coming up?
Wait, is the list all done now? Is the list all done?
Oh,
Yes.
I don't know who any of those people are.
I don't.
Okay. Why
you know,
Sky number one? What do you have coming up?
And he just froze. On my screen, I said Starfield. I've got I was hoping we could do Vermintide 2 again this week, but you're good. I was hoping to do Vermintide 2 this week, but with all these other streams coming up, the Star Trek stream, that maybe we'll have to just wait till next week. But there will be some surprise games coming up. So yeah. What? Baron's still thinking about Starfield right there. So yeah. Are you frozen again? No, he's just not moving. Okay. Yeah, I know, Anonymous. I know.
Baron?
Baron, you there?
What? Huh?
Can you hear us?
What do you have coming up, Baron?
Well, besides, of course, being here with you gentlemen on Wednesdays and Sunday, 7 o'clock Central Standard Time on my channel on Saturday, part 2 of Season 2 of Babylon 5 discussion. So we'll be taking care of the rest of that season with, of course, Mr. Cashmoney007 above me there, PACIFIC414, Lord Crit, and let's see who else. Oh yeah, Mr. McCracken. I think we might get a certain logical Vulcan to join us too. So
yes,
very
that's
nice,
true.
very nice.
Mm-hmm. And then of course Sundays, 5 o'clock Central Standard Time on 24/7 Fusion Media Channel. Well, it's the Primetime Kings, a live stream with the Tower of Power himself. 24/7 Fusion Media, the ever mysterious Vigilante Williamson, cruising in his hot rod from the Hollywood Nights in his new bomb Turk, and myself, Baron Orman Tagge, the humble announcer and fellow co-host of that show. And please give us a catch there. Just like Mike does, we try to not hit the topics that everybody else is talking about.
Right, which is good.
Well, yeah, that makes all this so interesting. Yeah.
Yep.
And anything else?
Hey, I go, hey, 24, you heard? Yeah, brother, I know about this stuff. I already saw that. We're not talking about that. It's okay.
And 24 is a good guy, and I need to get him back on.
Yeah,
he is.
Excuse me. Sorry.
Yeah, we're just going to blow that shit up.
Blow it up, man. Blow that shit up. Yeah, it's a joke, YouTube, so shut up.
Now, as far as PACIFIC414 is concerned, this is what's coming up for Thursday. Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern. It'll only be on the YouTube channel. It'll be Starfield. I will be going through my first actual playthrough. Looked at it a little bit last night, but I want to save all the gameplay for tomorrow on the YouTube channel at 6 p.m. Eastern. And then Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern on both the Rumble and YouTube channel will be the 57th anniversary stream for Star Trek, which I am calling 57 Years of Exploring the Final Frontier, where myself, Baron, Cash, Crit, and a few other panelists will be live, and we'll be talking about Star Trek, whether it be the original series, the movies, the animated series, Next Gen, DS9, Voyager, Enterprise, books, games. It's going to be a whole Star Trek stream devoted to the glory of Gene Roddenberry's Star Trek, Rick Berman's contributions to Star Trek, Michael Pillar's contributions, Derek Taylor's contributions to Star Trek. And as I've said before, if someone does like the current Star Trek and they want to talk about it when they're on the panel,
dun, dun, dun.
They can. I'm not gonna go after them going, oh my gosh, why are you talking about this? What? No, I'm gonna let them talk about it.
Until Baron zaps them.
No, Baron's gonna go from mild. Baron's gonna go from mild-mannered Baron that we're seeing now, and we're gonna see him transform into a Klingon.
I can see it.
Remember, Mike said he wouldn't. He didn't speak for all.
I'm not speaking for all of them. I can't speak for everybody. I can speak for myself, but I can't speak for everybody. And of course, Saturday will be the second official member stream here on Pacific 414. So that'll sorry. That'll start at 3 p.m. Eastern. As a matter of fact, you can sign up for a membership now for only $4.99 per month. You get an exclusive member stream that isn't like Pop Talk. It's more of a chill stream where we talk about whatever comes to mind. So if you want to talk about sports, we can talk about sports. If you want to talk about some hobby that you enjoy, then talk about it. I'm not going to say to you, oh, that's not what the stream's about. No, I'll save that for Pop Talk. So for $4.99 per month, you can become a member of Pacific 414. For stealth is optional. Who needs stealth? Come on. Really? Who needs it?
Excuse me?
Well,
What are we going to call the members? I mean, Brandon, the anime guy, he's got his, we're called weebs. What will we call our people here?
PAC414. PAC414.
Oh, PAC414.
Pack of squirrels.
Funny guy, this one. Then, as you heard over on Baron, very funny. Very, very funny. This guy. But as you heard, I will also be joining Cash and Baron on Baron's channel, Baron Orman Tagge's Fandom Legacy, for a discussion on Season 2 of Babylon 5. Then, of course, Sunday will be the Sunday edition of Pop Talk, where in the second hour of Pop Talk, the open panel will return. However, in case you missed it earlier, these are the guidelines for the open panel during the second hour. I hate this cough. I really do.
Yeah, Nettelmoss.
During the second hour, number 1, please wear headphones or earbuds while on the panel. Number 2, this also goes with number 1, please mute any background noise that can be heard during the stream. So that means if you have a TV going on in the background that's loud enough to be picked up by your microphone on stream and we can hear copyrighted material, turn it down. Same with any stereo systems that are on. Turn it down. If you're eating, mute yourself. I'm not saying you can't eat.
Washing dishes.
Yes, Cash, if you're washing dishes, mute yourself. We don't need to hear the water running.
I wouldn't do that to you guys. It's crazy.
Going to the bathroom, please.
Yeah, you too, Baron.
Yeah,
we don't want to hear that stuff, Baron. Come on.
Please, we don't want to hear that. And, just make sure there's not too much sound coming in where it's taking over the stream itself, where we can't hear what our fellow panelists are trying to say. And if there's a topic that you don't want to talk about, then you don't have to jump on to the panel at all. Wait until we're talking about something you do want to talk about. Don't come on and say, "Oh, I don't want to talk about this." Well, too bad. It's what we're talking about. Also, for number 3, please save all self-promotion until you have been asked to do so. This includes promoting for others. What that means is don't come on here and say, Baron Orman Tagge's Fandom Legacy is doing this stream about this very topic. Okay, thanks for the information, but now is not the time. Save all. Really, yeah, I know that, Baron. I know. But save all your self-promotions until you're getting ready to leave, and let me know in the private chat that you're getting ready to leave, so then I can say to you, Cash, since you're getting ready to leave, I'd like you to go ahead and promote yourself. And then that's where Cash would promote himself. And then, of course, near the end of the stream, make sure that you wait your turn to promote yourself when you've been asked to promote yourself. Just come out willy-nilly saying, yeah, I'm working on this video project right now. on my channel. Okay, yeah, that's great and all, but we didn't ask. Not right now. So please save all self promotion and promoting for others until you've been called upon to do so. Number 4, don't be rude to fellow panelists or to those in the chat. If a fellow panelist has a different opinion, well, listen to their opinion. You may not like it, but that's that person's opinion. You can bring up a counterpoint, point and counterpoint. That's fine. But don't outright come out and insult them. Because you do that, then that won't apply to these rules. You start insulting people on the stream, you won't have to worry about a strike 1, strike 2, or strike 3. You'll immediately be gone if you cause any trouble, just because somebody doesn't like your point of view. But speaking of number 5, if you do not follow any of these guidelines, strike 1. It'll be a verbal warning, not from Baron, not from Cash, not from a fellow panelist. It'll come from me. Strike 2. Panelists will be muted for 5 minutes. If we hear background noise that's distracting and you refuse to mute yourself, or you're not wearing earbuds or headphones, or you go against any of the guidelines, you'll be muted. And strike 3, if you continue and you self-promote yourself even when you haven't been asked, then I will boot you from the stream. And let's see. Anonymous says far too restricting. Well, I wouldn't have to go to this length if there hadn't been some issues with the open panels in the past. That's why these have been implemented. These are being implemented. We haven't had an open panel since May. And part of that has to do with some issues we've had for some people on the panel and in the chat. And I'm trying to curtail those issues. And let's see. Padawannabe says, okay, Star Trek on Friday, members on Saturday, and Pop Talk on Sunday. And yes, Padawannabe, and this goes for everybody who's part of that Star Trek stream. I will post a StreamYard link for that stream in the Twitter group that I've created Friday morning. So I'm not going to flake on you and forget to post it. I will post it Friday morning. Don't know what time on Friday morning I'll post it, but it will be sometime Friday morning.
Yeah, Padawannabe. I guess you can have a point of view this time, but I don't know about next time.
No.
And yeah, everybody's point of view is welcomed here. I just don't want somebody coming on here and going, no, Baron, you're wrong. No, Anonymous, you're wrong. Because according to so-and-so on this page or so-and-so on this channel, this is what's going to happen. No, none of that. You know, Baron's opinion is valid. Cash's opinion is valid. Anonymous, you know your opinion is valid. Jet Sparks, if you're out there, you know your opinion is valid, but I don't want somebody coming on here and trying to take advantage of the stream and trying to come on here just so they can self-promote. That's their sole purpose, is so they can self-promote. It's not about having a conversation. It's about self-promoting. Well, I don't care if you want to talk about your channel, but wait for the appropriate time.
I mean, and don't take this wrong when I say this, but this is just a lot of words that come down to one simple thing: be friends.
Mm-hmm.
Be respectful and be friends. I mean, just be nice. Just be good. It's like, again, we all discuss. We have our debates and stuff like that. It doesn't mean that we just don't respect each other afterwards, and it doesn't mean it can't get lively. Lively ones are fun, but honestly, would you really want to call your friend an idiot and mean it?
I wouldn't.
Cash calls me an idiot all the time, but I think he's joking.
I call us all idiots.
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
And let's see. Phil says, "Free Anonymous, justice for Anonymous."
Why?
What?
Yeah.
Anonymous is free. He's not being held prisoner.
I don't know. As I said, man, be careful. Protect your legs, Anonymous. You just never know. You never know.
No. Well, Phil keeps on saying
I'm not tying your hands, Anonymous. Talk to your good friend Phil McCracken.
Remember, he says he's a Southern boy, so better be careful. You might hear ding 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 ding. Hey, Anonymous. Can you squeal like a pig?
Deliverance.
Also known as the
there are parts of the movie that will make you go, oh.
Yeah. Poor Ned Beatty.
Yeah. That's what I'm referring to.
Yeah. People thought Quentin Tarantino freaked people out, but it's like, no, let's take a few steps back. It's happened before.
You're not alone. You're not alone.
Yeah, we all do.
Anonymous.
Well, that's why you fit in so well with us. By the way, do you know that turtles can breathe through their butt? Just ask DJ Ronnie G, who we did not see today.
Yeah.
I'm hurt.
I'm sure he's busy.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. Nobody's forced to watch any YouTuber's content. And it's up to you whether you watch it or not, whether you like it or not. But I want to let everybody know that I appreciate everybody who comes by, whether it's Pop Talk, whether it's a game stream, whether it's a video upload, and sticks around just for a little bit, or if they can only leave a like, that's fine too. I appreciate the support I get. Otherwise, if I didn't appreciate you guys, I wouldn't acknowledge you guys. I mean, Anonymous can definitely say how many times I've asked him, "Hey, you want to be on the show?"
Please, Cash lost it. We need you, man. We need you.
Anonymous, quick. Baron and Cash are driving me crazy. I need someone to balance out the force.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
I don't know who any of those people are.
Who are they?
But I do. I appreciate each and every one of you. And, you're the reason why this channel keeps growing.
I do have a question for Anonymous.
What would you say you do here?
Yeah.
That could be applied to the three of us, Baron.
Yeah, I know.
Well, at least somebody has a good sense of who they are. That's
Cash, whatever.
Yeah.
But thank you all for being here tonight. Thank you for helping Pop Talk reach 200 episodes. Let's go on to the next 200 and more. And if you haven't done so already, make sure you hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed to the channel and you're just lurking, consider subscribing to either the YouTube channel or following the Rumble channel. Greatly appreciate it. And I will see you all tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Eastern for Starfield on the YouTube channel. So until then.
And I said it would never last.